hour one of John and Jim. And it could be a very good show because you might not be able to hear Jim for the next 3 hours and 15 minutes. We're with you until 5:15. That's when Thursday Night Football will kick off. Chris Hodge will join us coming up at 4:30. We'll have some free picks for our listeners coming up at that time. BJ Davis, San Diego State guard, who has really starred for this team off the bench over the course of the last handful of games. He will join us coming up at 3:30. He will join us live. Aztecs picking up a big win last night that we will get into. Also, the Padres making a move today. Is it a significant move for the Padres? So I'm looking. So Jim's on vacay, and he is out east, and I'm in our studio here in San Diego. And for the first 3 days of the week, everything was fine, right? We could hear Jim. He sounded buttery from that Philadelphia studio. And today, for whatever reason, and I blame Jim completely for this, for whatever reason, I think Jim can hear us. We just can't hear him. So that implies to me that it's a Jim error. Brent, what's your theory on what's playing out here with Jim, who we've heard from for the last 3 days, but now we can't hear from?
I like the Jim error. That sounds plausible.
Yeah. Do you just think he's screwed something up? Hey, Jim, I have an idea. Go find like the Philly engineer and be like, this isn't working. All right. So we'll start the show. Jim will text random people. You know what? We were going to start with this Padres move, but we'll get to that in the next 15 minutes. They've added a reliever. I don't know if it's the elixir to the Dodgers. Like, I don't know if Ty Adcock is going to bring a championship to the city of San Diego, but it's one of those flyer moves, and they've done well on flyer moves with their bullpen. I mean, sometimes you just pick up a piece that's bounced around a little bit in the major leagues, and then you turn him over to Ruben Niebla, and maybe he becomes an important piece out of the bullpen. The bullpen is not my concern right now, unless they intend to move some of these relievers to starters, as we've talked about with Adrian Morejon or Mason Miller. I want to talk about last night first, because San Diego State, in what was essentially a must-win game, like if you didn't win last night against like this pesky team that's the favorite in their league in the Big West, Utah Valley, if you don't win last night, you're not feeling great about where you are. Not to say the season is fully over, but you would have been under 500. You would have lost 4 of 5 overall. You would have had consecutive losses at Viejas Arena after losing 2 weeks ago to Troy. And San Diego State was tested last night. They ended up winning by 11, 77-66. It wasn't easy. It felt as if they took a step forward. Again, BJ Davis will join us coming up at 3:30. One of the talking points coming out of this game, and we'll hear from Brian Dutcher, like his opening statement for a couple of minutes coming up in a moment. And we'll hear from Tay Simmons coming up as well, the freshman forward who was terrific last night. He scored 15 points. One of these talking points coming out of San Diego State basketball games this year is essentially this. They're too deep. And because of that, they haven't been able to figure out the rotations. Like, this has been a narrative that has played out. They're too deep, right? They're playing 10 or 11 guys. But last night, I don't think they win if they didn't have 10 or 11 guys, because Miles Byrd was battling the flu, didn't score. And then what else happened last night? Reese Dixon-Waters didn't score in the first half. Miles Heide went down to a back injury, fell awkwardly on the floor. All of a sudden, you're down to like 8 or 9 available healthy bodies. And that's what allowed you to win the game. Like, if you didn't have that depth and you had just 5 or 6 healthy bodies, if you didn't have BJ Davis off your bench, if you didn't have Tay Simmons, the freshman, coming off your bench, I don't think they win the game. I really don't think they would have won that game if they didn't have that depth. So they earned the win. Do we have Brian Dutcher from postgame? This is 2 minutes from Dutch immediately after the win, as San Diego State's now 4-3 on the year. They beat the WAC favorite Utah Valley 77-66.
There goes part of our 59 points off the bench today. Scored 77 and 59 off the bench. 3 double-digit scores off the bench. Farrell, Tay, and BJ. So Bird got 2 IVs before the game today. Didn't practice for 2 days, was sick. So he tried to come in and gut it out, play hard. Heidi obviously went down, got undercut, fell on his back, so we couldn't use him. So that's where our depth paid off for us. You know, we had the depth to endure injuries, endure illness, and still find a way to come out with a win. We fought. I mean, we held a team to 66 points. How about that? So that's pretty good. And we put in a game plan. We changed our ball screen coverage for this game. And for 3 days we worked on it. We did a good job executing. I think our defense set the tone for their offense. They weren't running smooth at a lot of things they did. That was a credit how we defended them. And then we made a couple late game adjustments, and we were able to follow those too. So we're making progress. But I told them, we're not going to practice any different whether we win or lose. Practice is practice, and we have to get better. And I'm not that guy. I tell them, Am I any different after a loss than I am after a win? No. I just come steady every day, and we have a steady program because we just work to get better. There's no highs and lows. Although we're disappointed when we lose, we're able to put it behind us quickly and move on to the next game because you don't want to sit there, like Tay said, and dwell on Troy. We all know Troy was – if we beat Troy and then we lose 2 in Vegas, we're like, oh, wow, okay, well, Michigan beat everyone by 40. We beat Oregon, and then we were ahead against Baylor in the second half, competitive game, and everything's fine. But the Troy loss just magnifies everything. So it puts more pressure to win games, and that's a good thing. At some point in the season, you're going to feel pressure. So we were feeling a little bit early, trying to get our team better. And whether the outcome of these games changed or not, we have to get better, and we know that. And I thought we made a step in the right direction today.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And, everyone wants everything immediately. It's like because they lost to Troy, they want them to win like 10 straight games when you only play 1 game. Everyone wants like, oh, well, it doesn't matter if they don't beat Arizona. Well, they haven't played Arizona, and that'll be in 2 weeks. Well, it doesn't matter if they don't win the Mountain West regular season. Well, that's still to come. And it doesn't matter if they don't win the Mountain West tournament. It's like we expect a finished product, but it's only a month into the year. So, Brian Dutcher, just spoke to that point for the last 2 minutes that you just heard here on John and Jim. I mean, they're not a finished product. It has not been perfect. The expectations remain very high, and they have to overcome now having a smaller margin for error because they did slip up at home. Like that loss will hang with them from now until Selection Sunday, whether they make the tournament or they don't. Like when they put it up on the screen or when you go to ESPN.com, you're going to see the column, and Troy is going to be in the bad loss. So San Diego State will need to overcome that. Do we have Jim Russell?
We do.
What was the issue?
All right. So behind the scenes here, I'm in a studio all by myself, and somebody, wasn't me, but it probably is my fault.
Blame someone else.
My microphone was basically like not in the right position, and I didn't realize that. So I had to find what the position of the mic was and change it. And so we're all good. So it's probably my fault.
Well, that was exactly what I was thinking. Even if it wasn't your fault, I was going to completely blame you.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, even if I didn't touch anything or if I didn't do anything, it's always my fault. So
let me ask you this, though. When you got into the studio today, because I feel like you've been there for a good hour.
Yeah. Did
you consider, testing it?
Well, here's the thing. I took pictures of everything, and I didn't realize that the microphone wasn't like on the right pot. It wasn't on the right signal.
All I know is this, and it's good that we have you now, and it's all good, and whatever. We're here until 5:15. But if I did the exact same thing, you would be blaming me ridiculously. You'd be like, you're an idiot. You don't know how to use technology.
Yes.
Just click the button on.
But here's the thing. It would have taken you probably 3 hours to figure it out.
Correct. I probably would have just left.
It took me 7 minutes. So
I was
fully
prepared for you to leave.
I know. I told you. I was like, dude, get ready to do a solo show.
What you should have done, if you were smart, if you really wanted to save yourself the frustration of the next 3 hours, you could have just been like, it's not going to get fixed. They're working on it. This is a 24-hour thing.
I could have left you high and dry and totally screw you and make you do a solo show by yourself.
Oh, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't leave me.
No, I wouldn't leave you.
You wouldn't leave me. All right, so you're out east. So I would imagine you probably were not watching KUSI last night. Now, you could have easily watched this game. I didn't even think of this. You could have just turned on the Mountain West app.
I know. Well, maybe I did. You didn't even ask me.
Because you didn't text, you didn't tweet, you didn't comment, you didn't react. So that's how I know. You didn't watch 1 second of this game. And now in the grand scheme of sports, I get it. Like San Diego State, Utah Valley wasn't the national championship game of the Super Bowl or, the World Series. But they bounced back. We said they had to win the game. They did win the game. BJ Davis was terrific once again off the bench. Tay Simmons, who we'll hear from at 2:30, scored 15 points in 14 minutes.
Is that good?
Bench. After you watched and then broke down the film over the last 24 hours, what's your reaction to this 11-point win last night?
My reaction is the bench was really good.
Yeah.
BJ Davis, really good. Their rotations still have to be figured out. Going 11 deep. I mean, you can do that now, but it's going to have to probably be tightened up as over the course of the season. And little disappointing from the starters last night. I know Miles Bird was dealing with the sickness, so I'm not going to really. I'm going to give him some leeway here, but all in all, they still have things they got to work out. But it's better to work on things after a win than have to work on things after a loss, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago against Troy. So, like, it's much better to have to continue to work on things after wins than losses. And last night, I would probably put it in that category of there's still a lot of things they got to work on. But they picked up a win, a game they had to win. They could not lose last night against Utah Valley. They have no margin for error going forward. And I think, going forward here for the rest of the season, hopefully they hopefully they figure out some things and, they get better as the season goes on. Cause that's what a Brian Dutcher team does, as you know, over the course of a year, they get better and better and better. And I hope that's the case for this team as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a pretty good commentary for not watching because
was that good enough BS from me?
It was honestly really good. And the reason I say it is I feel like if they played this exact game the night that they played Troy, I think they would have lost. Probably, it had very similar traits to Troy. You missed this late, but San Diego State on consecutive possessions, Jim, had a 10-second violation and a turnover that led to an easy 2 on back-to-back possessions when they led by 8. With 2 minutes left. It went from 8 to 3 with 2 minutes left. And then they responded. They got 3 consecutive buckets. They got 3 consecutive stops. And as opposed to potentially losing the game like they did 2 weeks ago to Troy, they kind of pulled away and they learned for some of those mistakes. And it didn't do them in. They still had a decent amount of turnovers, but I think it was 13 for the game. They certainly still need to clean that up. The pressure caused them problems in the final 4 minutes. But you're right, the bench, man, 59 bench points is incredible. And for those that are like, see, it proves the point. The bench should be starters and the starters shouldn't be playing. Give me a break. Yeah, okay, you're right. Magungwa shouldn't play and Reese Dixon-Water shouldn't play and Miles Bird shouldn't play. And the team's going to be way better if that's the case moving forward. Now, you're right. Maybe, I don't know if there's such a thing. It's like having too many pitchers in your rotation. They'll figure out their rotation. I'm with you. Will they play 11 all year? Maybe not. But are they going to play 9+? Yeah. I mean, in 2023, they played 9+ and it benefited them. So this is never going to be shortened down to 7. It might not be 11. It ultimately probably will fall between 9 and 10.
What's one of the most difficult things for a deep basketball team or, any sport? It's finding guys' roles.
Yeah, sure.
Making sure that everybody knows their role and they do their role to the best of their ability. And I think that is something that this Aztecs team is still trying to figure out, right? So you have, LZ Harrington in the starting lineup, right? He wasn't a starter on day one, but when you look at this team now going forward, like last night, the bench, I'm just looking at the minutes that were played. You had, Tay Simmons, 14 minutes, Farrow, 22, Odin, 17, BJ, 24, Sean Newman, 17, Taj, 20. Like, that's a lot of minutes from your bench.
It is. Yeah.
And I think going forward, that's probably something you're not going to see. I mean, maybe you see it, but I still think Dutch is still trying to figure out combinations and lineups that work and, making sure everybody knows their role, because the last thing you want to do as a player in any sport is go into a game and not have any clue like what your role is for that team.
All right, we'll hear from Tay Simmons, the freshman who, again, scored 15 and 14 minutes. And then BJ Davis will join us live at 3:30. So we're talking Aztec hoops, but we cannot bury the lead. The Padres have the solution to the Dodgers, and his name is Ty Adcock. And we will explain it on the other side. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Join 760 ESET, SeaWorld, Cable Pipe and Leak Detection, and Crowley Car Company to support Rady Children's Hospital this holiday season. Tuesday, December 9th and Wednesday, December 10th, you'll hear stories of hope and healing from Rady Children's patients and families during the iHeart Rady Children's Give-a-thon. You can make a donation today. Text the word sports to 51555 or donate at radyfoundation.org/give-a-thon. We've got Jim back.
Yes, we have me.
So you're good from here on out. The audio issues have been resolved. Famous last words.
Unless something happens that I don't know how to fix, which I don't see how anything could happen unless I literally just turn off my microphone now because the microphone's on. So we're good to go.
So let me ask you this. So again, you're out east and you receive word that the Padres have signed Ty Adcock. Yes, that Ty Adcock. Who made 3 appearances in the big leagues last year in relief and allowed 1 run in those 3 innings. He has made 18 career appearances. He's got a 5.48 ERA and a negative 0.3 WAR. They sent out a press release on this edition. What do you make of this? He's going to be 29 years of age. He's made 18 appearances. I got a lengthy press release from the PR staff, and that leads me to believe that he will be fighting for a bullpen spot for the Padres in 2026.
Just on sheer name alone, this might be one of the best signings in franchise history.
Adcock?
Adcock. You cannot get better than that last name. I'm sorry. It writes itself. As Steven in the chat says, if Adcock starts, how deep can he go? It literally writes itself.
No, he's more of a short guy though, because in 18 outings, he's only going 23 innings.
Oh my God.
He's not a long guy.
Do you understand the puns, John, that are available for Ty Adcock? Because apparently it doesn't seem like you do.
What do you mean?
Anyway, on name alone, greatest signing in franchise history. Other than that, I have no idea who this guy is, nor am I going to pretend like I know who this guy is, nor am I going to look at anybody's tweets about his stats.
I'm seeing tweets that are good, Jim.
And pretend like this is a good signing. I have zero clue who this guy is. And if this is like a foreshadowing of what the Padres offseason is going to be, a bunch of rando names, then good luck next year.
What if I told you, and listen, I'm not going to make a direct comp to Shohei Ohtani, but he was a 2-way player in college.
Oh, so this was the response to Ohtani a couple years later?
At Elon, which is in a state, I'm not even going to ask you which, I think North Carolina. At Elon, this guy was a pitcher and a hitter.
I thought you said Elon Musk.
No, Elon.
Elon.
School. And here's a guy that's kind of bounced around by and large in the minor leagues, has been up a couple of times. Like I said, he's going to be 29. So the only thing that piques my interest, and I'm being serious, is are they looking to backfill in their bullpen because of what they plan to do with some of their relievers? That's the first thing that I thought of, because their bullpen is going to be pretty well shored up if the pieces remain. Yeah, you've got to replace some key pieces like Robert Suarez, but it feels like they'll have arms out of their bullpen unless Adrian Morejon is not coming out of your bullpen, unless, Mason Miller's not coming out of your bullpen.
Do you think Adcock could give this team some length if they need it?
Not based on his career. No, I really don't.
Humor me, John. Play along.
I'll play along. Here's what he did last year. He went 3, allowed 1.
Last year?
He went 3 innings, allowed 1 run.
Does anybody know his spin rate?
No, I don't. Now, I did see on social media, to your point, you don't want to discuss it. Everyone's saying Ruben Niebla's got this under wraps. Like, this guy's stuff is so filthy that Niebla,
according to Padres Twitter, Ruben Niebla could make me and you into like Cy Young.
Well, that's the issue. That right. Is a good point. Yeah, like you can't put it all on Niebla. You can't just take anyone and be like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. Now that they have Adcock.
Adcock's going to just change the trajectory of the franchise. They're going to go up, up, up.
According to MLB trade rumors, he is still a bit of a project. Ty Adcock.
Adcock, a little bit of a little project or a big project?
It says little here.
Aw.
So he's a guy that will make around $780K if he's on the major league team. So there's your big signing. So what have the Padres done? Tell me what they've done from a major league roster perspective. Campy for $1 million.
Yeah.
Adcock for $780.
They think they signed Kyle Hart, right? They brought him back.
What'd they pay him? 2, 3, 4?
I don't know.
So they're not spending a lot right now.
No, they're not. They're not. It's a whatever. I mean, literally, I saw, I got this sent to me that one of the first comments was, that, or where is it? Because it was pretty good. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, someone, JR said, it's a great signing when Jeff Passan doesn't even report it.
If Passan doesn't mention it, I mean, again, don't get me wrong. They've had some diamond and rough guys. I mean, Jeremiah Estrada was like cut.
Yeah.
He had
Nick Martinez.
At the time of these additions, you've never
Suarez.
even heard of these players.
Right.
Yeah,
Robert
Suarez coming over from overseas. He had never done anything in the major league. So it's not unprecedented to turn a guy from, a quad A player into an effective pitcher. Like, that's not unprecedented. But again, it's like, okay, it's a piece. You need 26 on a 26-man roster, Jim fact. And maybe he'll have some value. But again, it's like, it does feel like you're scraping when 2 of your 26 are Luis Campusano and Ty Adcock.
I can't wait for the first time that Ty Adcock's on the mound and the count's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Why 2 and 1?
Adcock from the stretch, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Dude,
delivery.
This is why I can't do a show with you.
Come on.
Okay?
It's literally writes itself. It's staring you in the face. It's like, hey, if we don't know anything about this guy, which we don't, all we can do is just use his last name and play off of it.
The chat says Adcock fills a major hole.
He does fill a major hole in the back of the pen.
Which hole is that? All right, on the other side.
I mean, it's just do you think Don's going to realize when Adcock's on the mound and it's a 1-1 count and he goes, Adcock delivers, ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike for Adcock?
He's not going to say it like that.
I wish he would.
First of all, Adcock is going to make 3 appearances. So, you better be watching.
He's going to make TV. 69 appearances next year, John.
Right down the Adcock.
Right down the Adcock.
All right. On the other side, we're going to hear from Tay Simmons for San Diego State. 15 points last night. He joined me post-game, and then BJ Davis will join us coming up at 3:30. Chris Hodge has free picks for our listeners coming up at 4:30. Get your Adcock puns to 70470. Start it with the word team. 70470. Start it with the word team. We're here until Thursday Night Football. Do you know who's playing tonight, Jim? Big game.
Cowboys. I don't know who.
You don't know the Cowboys are playing the Lions tonight?
Oh, it's a massive
game. That's a massive game. And we've got it for you at 5:15. Stay with us on John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. We'll start with the Aztecs. They're back in the win column as they beat Utah Valley last night, 77-66. BJ Davis led the way with 18 points off the bench. He'll join us today at 3:30. And the Padres made a huge signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to the Major League roster. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
All right, we're going to hear from Aztec freshman forward Tay Simmons momentarily, but I'm reading the Ty Adcock scouting report, Jim, at Player Profiles, which is like behind a paywall scouting service. But no big deal. I have access to it. Anyway, this is from the scout. I can't hear you.
Yes, you can.
Now we can. This is from the scouting report of Ty Adcock. I kid you not. Okay. This is the actual Major League Baseball scouting report. Adcock is a 2-pitch, come right at you reliever. He is a 2-pitch, come right at you reliever.
I could seriously do a 3-hour show on just Ty Adcock puns.
I know you could. If this was the wrap-up show, you wouldn't shut up about this.
I'm not going to shut up about it.
I know you won't. And this isn't even the wrap-up show.
Alex Silva, how fast can Adcock be up in the pen?
This is so this is the offseason now. This is the offseason.
Adcock will go in with the hard stuff on anybody.
Happy winter meetings.
This is what we have to resort to.
2 years ago it was Aaron Judge. Now it's Adcock.
It's Adcock.
2 years ago it was Trey Turner. Right?
Yeah. Xander Bogaerts.
5 years ago it was Manny Machado.
Yeah. Oh, the Padres traded Juan Soto. Massive trade. Oh, Nick Pivetta. Adcock.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Adcock comes right at you.
So dumb.
It's so great. And if you think it's dumb, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to tell you.
Yeah, I know, because you're very uncomfortable.
Here's the thing. When I aged, my brain also aged.
Oh.
So I'm not like Jim has been stuck as a 16-year-old since whenever you were 16.
That was what,
5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago, exactly.
2023. All right, we can get back to it.
Adcock comes in on the hands.
Jim is so happy.
Look, I don't know anything about this guy. I know nothing. But if you're going to give me a name like this, then yeah, I'm going to roll with it for the entire show. Sorry, not sorry.
Darnay says I'm encouraging it.
You're not encouraging it. You're trying to turn a blind eye to it.
No, I'm not. I told you that Adcock is a 2-pitch come right at you reliever.
But you're just reading the scouting report.
I know. I don't know. All right. BJ Davis will join us coming up live at 3:30. San Diego State junior guard who scored 18 points last night in a San Diego State win. What are you laughing at?
Just the endless puns. It's just so good. He has a nice curve on his curveball.
Is that funny?
I don't know.
Is that funny? Am I missing something? Is that funny? All right, let's hear from Tay Simmons. Last night, San Diego State over Utah Valley, 77-66. Tay Simmons is a true freshman for San Diego State. He came off the bench and scored 15 points, grabbed 7 rebounds. He did it in 14 minutes. He joined me on the Aztecs wrap-up show last night. I started the conversation by asking him what it took to bounce back from losing 2 out of 3 in Vegas.
I mean, like you said, it takes all of us. I mean, how many points you say we scored off the bench?
59.
59 points. It takes all of us. There's not you don't beat people with just your starting 5. You have to be able to trust everybody that's on that bench. And so I think that makes a huge difference. And I also think a part of it is just moving on. We had ups and downs in Vegas, and that's just going to happen. But once you realize that this is so early in the season, we have so many more games to play. But once you realize that you don't have to dwell on the past, that's how you better. There's no way you're going to get better if you just keep thinking about, oh, we lost to this, you know what I'm saying? So
really good perspective
for sure.
So what has it been like for you in your role? Because you come off the bench whenever you're called upon, and you've provided an immediate impact, whether it's on the glass, scoring the basketball. What does it take to have this mindset where when you come into a game, you're able to contribute immediately?
I just feel like I'm just doing me. I mean, I'm here. I'm doing what the coaches asked me to do. I don't feel like I play out of character. I think I come in and I just play as hard as I can. And there was a moment when I had to sub myself out because I didn't feel like I was able to play as hard as I could because I was tired. So I was like, you know what? Let me sub and then get back in and play as hard as I can again. So I think it's just mindset is just play hard. And I think that's something that's been engraved in me since I was young because that's kind of how like my dad played when he was overseas. He was an extreme hustle player. So growing up watching that has just been an inspiration for me to even if I didn't have 50 points, like let's just say I had 0 points, like that doesn't matter to me. Like I just want to go out there and play as hard as I can and impact in any way I can.
Well, you do so significantly, and then you start the second half. So Miles got hurt. Miles Heide, right, had the hip contusion. That's what it's officially listed as. Was dealing with that when he took the hard foul. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind as you were out there to start the second half in that role? Because you had some, I mean, both halves. You had some big moments. You hit the three in the second half as well. You got to the free throw line, converted there. But what was the mentality starting the second half on the floor?
Work, play hard. I don't think it matters if you start or come off the bench. Yep. That's, again, I feel like a part of my mentality is like, it doesn't matter. Like when you're on the court in between these lines, you play as hard as you can. So when coach said I was starting, like I was like, okay, cool. Like I wasn't, super ecstatic, like jumping up and down. I was more just like, all right, like let's just get the job done. So coach called upon me. He gave me a chance, and let's capitalize on that chance.
You know what impressed me a lot as a team tonight is, you're playing a good team. There's going to be adversity. You jump to a double-digit lead. They come back and take a lead. You jump out again. They had it down to 3. What does it take as a team when you're kind of dealt with that adversity to fight through it and overcome it like you did as a team tonight?
I think it's just staying together. I feel like many teams in times of crisis, like in difficult, spurts, they'll start to fall apart. They'll start blame shifting. They'll be like, oh, man, like, that was your fault. Like, why weren't you there on the switch? Why aren't you doing this? But I think we have such level-headed guys that, yeah, sure, guys might get angry because, they messed up an assignment, but we're always together. We always huddle up. We're always together. And you got to commend the other team. Like, they kept fighting. Like, they're not going to give up because that's what you expect from competitors. But at the same time, we're not going to give up. Like, just because you fight doesn't mean that you're going to beat us because we're not going to lay down. Like, we're going to play just as hard as you guys, even harder, and that's how we're going to get the win. So staying level-headed and just trusting in your guys no matter what the score is.
It's interesting because, the depth creates some unique situations, whether it's rotationally or minutes, but the depth in a game like this was critically important because you have Miles, who Dutch was saying post-game was dealing with flu-like symptoms and had missed. Miles Bird had missed a couple of practices. You have Miles Heide go out underneath the basket in the first half. This feels like one of those games where without the depth, you probably don't win it. But by being 10 or 11 deep, when you're dealing with, 1 or 2 players that aren't 100%, that's how you're able to claw out a win like this. Would you agree?
I 100% agree. But not only that, it's just every guy's ready.
Yeah.
Every guy's ready when their name is called. They jump off the bench and they're ready to go. So there's a difference between having, 10, 11 guys who are good, but they may not be, they're frustrated because maybe they're not playing as much. Like, it doesn't matter to any of the guys on the bench. When their name is called, they're out there and they're about to play the hardest. So I think that makes a huge difference.
What was the week like from Las Vegas, from the Baylor game? Again, you beat Oregon, but you go 1-2. I'm sure everyone had higher expectations than that. And then you spend this full week getting ready for Utah Valley. What was that like from a team or personally in preparation for tonight?
So obviously for Thanksgiving, they gave us the day off, thankfully. And then we were there and man, it was work. First day was straight defense. Like nobody shot a shot. It was all defense the entire day. It was brutal. It was gruesome. Like it was just like everybody had to dig deep, and it really showed what kind of team we are during adversity in practice when, it's in, behind closed doors, like you could quit, but nobody did. Like we embraced the challenge. We had arguments. We had, little things that we had to overcome as teammates, but overall we just were like, man, like we don't want that to happen again. So let's make a difference. And another thing that they did was they showed us tape of like a SCSU team from a couple of years ago.
Right.
And I think that also inspired us because we could easily just be like, oh, whatever, that was them back then, whatever, we're changing, whatever. Like people could have a bad, kind of like way to view it. But we were all just like, all right, well, let's take the challenge. They're challenging us to be like this team. So let's go there and do that. And I think that showed in spurts today, in larger spurts more than it did in Vegas. And I still think we have so much farther to go. I think we can be that team. Actually, I don't think. I know we can. It's just, it's levels. As Coach Dutch said after the game, he said, this is a step. So I believe that we got this for sure.
You know, it's funny you say that because that 22-23 team, and I'll let you run in a minute, but I appreciate you taking time.
Mm-hmm.
That team dealt with a lot of adversity, and I think that was shown probably in some of the clips. I mean, they go to Maui, they lost 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
They had a game in their grasp against Arkansas that they lost. They came back home a week later against UC Irvine. If not for Micah Parrish hitting a 3 in the corner, San Diego State loses at home to UC Irvine. It took a 3 literally at the buzzer, close to the buzzer. So I guess the point is it's a long year. Like there's steps in a journey. It's not like a finished product from day one. The finished product ultimately will be coming at some point in March. Do you feel as if collectively you're taking the steps as you go along the process?
100%. I think we're only getting better. I mean, it's not a race, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
That's the kind of way I view it. Like, and there's going to be setbacks. No good team is not going to have setbacks. And the way you get better is how you jump from those setbacks. You can either go down and get discouraged, or you can jump up and rise to the challenge, I believe. So, and not every win is going to be pretty. Today wasn't pretty. I bet people expect us to beat this team by 20, 30 points, but they were a very good team. Very good team. And so it wasn't the prettiest win, but we got the win. And that's just the kind of mentality. It's just, all right, let's get ready for the next game and let's go get a W. That's just how it is.
Jim, did you listen to 1 second of that, or are you just looking at Adcock things?
Oh, I'm looking at all Adcock puns.
All right, BJ Davis will join us coming up at 3:30. On the other side, back to baseball and the worst person in the world making an actual good point, potentially. We'll hear from that person on the other side.
Playing to win despite Adcock's shortcomings. Now Adcock has gone full. It just writes itself.
Stay with us on John and Jim. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We do want to congratulate all our $5,000 winners. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
What?
BJ Davis will join us at 3:30. I think Chris Hodge will join us at 4:30, taking Vegas. Get us ready for Thursday night football.
You think? Why wouldn't he?
Well, he sends us an email every single day he joins us, and I haven't seen an email.
Well, he has sent emails to us like closer, sometimes during the show.
Sure, he has. But I mean, I can't guarantee that email is coming, but I'm confident. My
guess is it will come because he's always on with us on every Thursday. Why wouldn't he be?
Because it's Thanksgiving.
That was Thanksgiving last week, John. It's not Thanksgiving anymore.
That's a good point. All right. So are you pro salary cap in baseball or anti?
I don't know. I think my stance on it is I'm anti it as long as there's a floor. As long as like baseball regulates teams to have to spend a certain amount of money. Because if you get a salary cap, I just think that it's just going to be worse. I don't know. I just think that it's just going to cause way more problems.
Okay, so you sound a little bit like Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers. You do, because Dave Roberts went on, the show Good Sports on Amazon Prime that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I listen to that like every other day.
He went on Good Sports on Amazon Prime and had this to say.
You know what? I'm all right with that. I think the NBA has done a nice job of kind of revenue sharing with the players and the owners. But if you're going to kind of suppress spending at the top, I think that you got to raise the floor to make those bottom feeders spend money too.
There you go.
So he was okay with a cap if there was a floor.
Yeah, I think a floor would make these teams like the Marlins and the Pirates and the Sacramento, Oakland, Las Vegas A's have to spend money. And right now, those teams don't spend money. I think the A's last year fake spent just to like show like, hey, we can. They signed Severino. It's like a massive contract.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest contract in franchise history. But they're just doing it to like get people off their back. They're not really committed to winning and committed to spending money like other organizations are committed to spending money. I think that a floor would be a good thing for baseball because right now the disparity between Dodgers, Mets, Blue Jays, Red Sox compared to the Rays, A's, Pirates, Marlins, the gap is too big.
But does it make teams competitive? Because look at the NBA. There's a floor. Every team is within 10%, right? No team is below 90% of the salary cap. You still have teams that suck, that are absolutely miserable, and all moves are made just for sheer dollars. You could acquire the worst player on earth, but if his contract is for $40 million a year, it gets you close to the salary cap. Could we see the same thing in baseball?
Good point. You see in the NBA, these teams give out contracts to like lower level players that aren't very good, but they need to spend money. And it's like, why did you give this guy a $150 million contract? It makes no sense. So right. I do agree with that. That is a good point. But I also do think it would help teams if there was like, hey, you have to spend this amount of money. It would help teams potentially keep their own players. Like, okay, we have to spend money. Let's spend it on our own. Let's spend it on, the players we have in-house instead of having to go out, and go into free agency and be like, oh, we have to give this player a $100 million contract and he really sucks. Like, no, Pirates, you need to give a contract extension to Paul Skeens. Now, Paul Skeens can deny that and say, I want to become a free agent when my time's up, right? But still, I think these teams aren't spending money. And if I'm a fan of those teams, that pisses me off.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I do. I think ultimately at the end of the day, the money helps, kind of, normalize or regulate the sport. Like it leads to parity. And not every team's going to spend it effectively, but you probably need more teams trying to win. Now, it's kind of worked out well for the Padres that they have been a spender. They have been trying to reach the postseason, and by and large, they have been in the postseason. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of 2026. Like, what's the big dispute going to be over? Is it going to be over spending, cap, floor? Like, I don't even know what we're heading towards at the end of 2026. We're heading towards something. You hear this idea that, well, they need to do something to give teams like Milwaukee a chance to win. But I'm like, well, Milwaukee does win and San Diego does win. Like, are you going to create a system that makes the Pirates good? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to go change the rules for the Pittsburgh Pirates, or are we going to let teams that actually care try to continue to win?
I don't know how baseball could do this, but what I do like a lot in the NBA is how they have rules in place for players that are on your team. You can pay them the most money.
Right. I like
that. Like, I don't know how that would work in baseball if there's no salary cap, but I do like the fact in basketball, especially, the Mavericks didn't want to do this. They're stupid, but Luka wanted to stay with Dallas, and Dallas could have easily given him the most money, as far as, in free agency goes. And I think in baseball, if you had a system in place or some type of thing in place where the Pittsburgh Pirates could offer Paul Skeens the most money over the Mets or the Dodgers or the Yankees, I think that would be something that would be really good in baseball, because what do we say all the time for players like Paul Skeens or a player on the A's that's really good, or the Marlins? Like, they'll be Dodgers or Yankees in 5 years, right? Because they don't have the teams that they're on have no shot to keep them. I don't know how they could do that in baseball, but I think to give the team a better opportunity to keep their players in house, I think that would be good. Again, I have no idea how they would do it, but that would be, I think, for the fans of those teams, it would be really good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it would be more beneficial than not. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. I mean, Baseball Players Union has been steadfast against any idea.
I know.
Of a cap, maybe even a floor. I don't know if we're heading there or not. I just hope that we don't have some type of stoppage. I feel like baseball's been in a relatively good space. They're coming off a World Series that people were watching. The Dodgers have won the last 2 World Series. I don't love that. And I think their pay has something to do with it. I mean, certainly their payroll has benefited them significantly. But ultimately, did they win the World Series because of their payroll? No. I mean, Miguel Rojas hit a home run in the 9th inning. And then the Blue Jays didn't take advantage of opportunities in extra innings.
Right.
So I see it a little bit of both ways, but I would like to see a little bit more parity probably in the sport. Here's what I want to get to on the other side.
More Adcock puns?
We will. I'm sure between now and 5:15, that will not be preventable. We will get to that. Also, at ESPN.com, there is an article about where all 30 Major League Baseball teams stand heading into the winter meetings, ranking all 30. Like, where do you think the Padres are on that list? Padres fans.
With this Adcock signing,
right,
they have to be close to the top, right?
You would think. I don't know if this accounts for Adcock.
Like, is this a poll, John, or is this like, what is this?
This is an article.
Oh, it's an article? Because I was going to say, if it was a poll after the Adcock signing, they're at the top of the poll.
They'd be going to the top.
Yeah.
Well, are the Padres a top 10 team heading into the winter meetings? Are they in the top half of the sport? What's their win total projection heading into 2026, according to ESPN.com? We'll discuss that on the other side. Plus, coming up at 3:30, BJ Davis, who had 18 points last night for San Diego State, had a personal 8-0 run in the first half. He has played terrific basketball coming off the bench, and he has scored in double figures, I think, in 5 consecutive games. So BJ Davis will join us coming up at 3:30. Chris Hodge taking Vegas at 4:30. We've got Thursday Night Football that we'll get into as well, and you can hear that right here at 5:15 on San Diego Sports 760. So hour 2 of John and Jim comes your way next.
All right, this update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. We'll start with the Aztecs. They're back in the win column as they beat Utah Valley last night, 77-66. BJ Davis led the way with 18 points off the bench. He'll join us today at 3:30. And the Padres made a huge signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to the major league roster. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of John and Jim. We're here until 5:15. We've got Thursday Night Football tonight on 760. Cowboys and Lions, the surging 6-5-1 Cowboys against the not surging 7-5 Lions. That is coming up tonight at 5:15 on San Diego Sports 760. BJ Davis, as Jim just told you, I was listening, will join us at 3:30.
You were not listening.
I was, because when you're not in the studio, I'm more apt to listen to you because you're not in the studio.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? So I have to actually listen to you. So BJ Davis,
is that hard for you?
Otherwise, I'm just like, whatever. And Chris Hodge, we think, is going to join us coming up at 4:30. All right, let me ask you this. Where do you think the Padres would rank among the 30 teams, according to ESPN, heading in to the winter meetings? I'll put it like this. Do you think they're in the top 5?
For what?
Teams. Baseball teams.
Like going into next year?
Into the winter meetings.
Like how good they are?
Oh, no. The favorite uniform combinations. Yes. How good are the baseball teams in baseball? There are 30 of them. Like, who do you think is the best team heading into the winter meetings? Let me answer it for you.
The Dodgers?
Correct. So teams as their position right now in real time heading into the winter meetings.
I'm going to say 13th.
Did you read this article?
I swear I did not read this article.
You've never read, so that would surprise me.
I don't know how to read.
They're 13th.
I just know ball, bro.
You really do. So what do you think their win average is? The expectation in terms of wins for the Padres next year?
84?
You're an idiot. I'm gonna
No, is it really?
I'm gonna punch you.
Is it really?
It's 84.9.
I'm not kidding. I don't have this pulled up.
Okay.
I haven't read it because I don't read. Like I said, I just know ball, bro.
What do you think their chances are of reaching the postseason?
Like percent chance?
Yep.
20%.
20%? Why would they have a 20% chance of reaching the postseason?
How about 45%?
Yeah, 49.
Okay.
49%. And their chance of winning a championship, 2.3%.
Is that good?
Last year heading into the postseason, it was 4%.
What's the Dodgers? All like 100%?
100. Okay, that's actually a really good question. So the Dodgers win expectancy is only 98.6.
That's it?
I know. Well, what'd they win last year?
They didn't win 98.
They don't care. They treat it like an exhibition. You know what I mean? They line things up.
Right.
Their chance of reaching the postseason, this is so low, is 94.7. That's comical. And listen to this. Their chance of winning a title heading into the winter meetings is 22.4%, which is absurd.
That's crazy.
A 1 in 4 chance right now compared to all the other teams. That is crazy.
I do have a very important question.
Yeah. How does Adcock change it?
Right. Was this written before the Adcock signing?
This was pre-Adcock.
So post Adcock, what? This got to bump up to at least like 90 wins.
6 more wins.
6 more wins at least, right?
If we're a guy that made 3 appearances last year.
Yeah.
Here's what they write. They say the Padres declined an option on last year's Cody Ponce, Kyle Hart, then signed him back. This is what they've done so far. And then they added veteran right-handed reliever Craig Stammen. And then they said, wait, Craig Stammen is what? Okay, never mind. And they linked to the article where he's the manager.
That's what it says?
That's what it says. That's what it says.
Well, hold on. Read that again.
It says the Padres declined an option on last year's Cody Ponce, Kyle Hart, then signed him back. They also added veteran right-handed reliever Craig Stammen. Wait, Craig Stammen is what? And that's hyperlinked to him becoming manager. And then they write, okay, never mind. That's how bad of an offseason it's been. That's
wait
the
until the updated version with the addition of Adcock.
True. That's another sentence. I don't know if it's a
another
good sentence.
3 words.
It's like 3 and they added this dude who made 3 appearances. They write this, and I mean, I would agree with this. This is the need. They need a power bat and rotation help. They go on to talk about King Cease. They say King and Cease. They say, hey, they need some, front of rotation guys unless you decide to make Mason Miller a starter. And then they also say doing that and re-upping Robert Suarez would be a less pricey proposition than what it would cost to land a top free agent or trade candidate. As for the power bat, San Diego has plenty of playing time to offer at first or DH, both spots that ought to be a good source of the home run power that the Padres need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not re-signing Robert Suarez. I can promise you that.
Nor should they re-sign Robert Suarez.
I agree. They're making the case to re-sign him.
Why?
I don't know. I mean,
that's like the farthest. That's not even close to one of their needs. Back end bullpen help. No. They. By the way, with the addition of Adcock today, the bullpen is fine.
It's full. It's full.
It's full. Adcock has filled that pen. All right.
Pen, yeah.
Adcock has filled that hole in the pen.
Okay.
All right. How nervous do you get every time I throw out
I'm
Adcock?
not nervous at all. I just
how uncomfortable are you?
I'm not uncomfortable at all. I'm just thinking about my life.
And what's your thought?
So I can't disclose publicly. But I'm just thinking about my life. Okay. Yeah. Let me just put it as simply as that.
Okay. Well,
hold on. So where do we think, now that we've done this little exercise and we saw the Dodgers at the top, surprise. So the Padres at 13th. What about teams like the Giants or the Diamondbacks in the division? I'm assuming Colorado's 30th.
I'm assuming that you'd be correct or close to it.
Let's see.
Even though they hired former Padres general manager Josh Burns the other day, I mean, that could really, change the dynamic in the NL West. I actually do like Josh Burns a lot. I think that's a good hire. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. By the way, they're expected to win 49 games this upcoming year. It's a big number. They are 30th. They are
49 games.
I mean, that is just pathetic. That is absurdly pathetic.
The Thunder are going to win 49 games before the All-Star break.
Exactly. Good point. Really good point. The Giants only check in at 81 wins in terms of win expectancy. They're 19th in baseball. And then at 18th in baseball is Arizona at 81.4 wins. So the Padres have a little bit of wiggle room over teams like Arizona and San Francisco, maybe on paper, which to me does make sense with the core that they have, with their spending ability or what they've spent. But again, there's a long way between the Padres and the Dodgers, as we know. I think it's we said this last year, I think it's a fair belief that the Padres are like a coin flip to be a playoff team. Isn't that how you kind of feel? Sure, they could be a playoff team, but sure, they could miss the postseason. That's how I feel about them. They have holes. This is not an Adcock pun. But I feel like it's a coin flip proposition. This is so dumb, dude.
We are children. And by we, I mean I am a child. And John is just along for the ride.
I'm along for the ride, dude. This week started with a colonoscopy.
And now it's ended with an Adcock.
Correct. And it's only Thursday.
Right. We have one more day of this.
Exactly. Who knows what they'll do tomorrow?
Right.
I can't wait for that press release.
Maybe they can find a way to get Dylan Head back on this roster.
They might be able to, dude.
And Woo-Suk Go still out there somewhere. Bring him back.
Is he? Didn't they trade him?
They did.
To who?
I don't know.
For what?
For a bag of chips. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Where are the Padres? What's going on? Are they traveling to the
San
winter
Diego,
meetings?
John.
Are they though?
No, they're in San Diego. They have a ballpark in San Diego called Petco Park.
I know, but the winter meetings start in 2 days.
That's great. Maybe they're in
Disney
their
World.
Maybe they're in the war room getting ready for their big moves during the winter meetings.
Where is the AJ Preller something like his contract? What's the status? Does his key card still work? Is he been going to work? I mean, is this the work of their off season?
Well, let's just look at the press release today for Ty Adcock, and then we can see. Hold on, here we go.
Yeah,
I got the press release right here.
I'm sure it mentions Preller.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't. But, oh, no, it does.
has
It
to.
mentions Preller. It says the San Diego Padres have signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to a one-year contract through 2026. President of Baseball Operations and General Manager A.J. Preller announced today.
Okay. So that was his.
So
move.
he's alive. He's still like actually doing things for the Padres. You know, the move today proves it.
I mean, listen, I get it. It's not yet the winter meetings.
Yeah, when's the Adcock presser, by the way?
I don't think they're going to have one. It might be in Orlando.
I need to get to that one.
Well, go to Orlando. You're on the East Coast. Start driving.
Perfect. I'll be there in 3 days.
Exactly. There was something else I wanted to mention. Now I'm looking at like MLB.com about the Padres, what they're eyeing at the winter meetings.
Well, they already have an Adcock, so that's good.
The thing is, did we talk about the Jake Cronenworth thing, or did you talk about that without me?
Yeah, I did. Well, you were getting your colonoscopy.
What did you say about it?
That he's the only option on this roster that's tradable. Because if you're looking to move money like Jeff Passan is saying that the Padres are looking to do, you got one option, and that's Jake Cronenworth. He's the only player on your team that isn't making this inflated type of contract where it's impossible to trade Manny, nor would you trade Manny. It's impossible to trade Xander, even though they would love to trade Xander. They're not trading Tatis. They're not trading Merrill. They're not trading Pivetta. They're not trading Musgrove. They can't trade Darvish. Their only player that's making a good amount of money that you could trade away to relieve some stress and clear up some space on the books is Jake Cronenworth. They have nobody else.
I completely agree with that. And by the way, it's reasonable. I mean, it helps in two areas, does it not? You get decent salary relief if you move them, right? 10 plus
11,
a year.
Okay, 11 a year.
Okay, 11 a year. Plus maybe some type of return that has benefit. I'm not talking about, something that completely changes the dichotomy of your team. I don't think you're getting that type of return.
Cronenworth for skiing straight up?
No, but can you address needs? I guess is the point. Like, can you address a need and save money as well? I mean, I'd be tempted.
Could you take Jake, add a minor league player to trade for a major league pitcher? Can you do that?
Yeah. Can you move Cronenworth and get a major league arm in return, you're saying?
I'm saying, can you take Cronenworth and then
get a prospect?
Either add a prospect in your organization along with Jake.
Gotcha.
And maybe eat a little bit of that money.
Okay.
Not all of it, because then what's the point?
Yep.
But like eat a little bit to get back a major league starting pitcher.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I mean, he's an everyday middle infield, corner infield type. His numbers have been fine.
I looked at Jake as a guy that is easily replaceable for a lot less money. You can find other Jake Cronenworths out there.
Right.
The fact that people are enamored with Jake because he has a good nickname and he had a great moment against the Dodgers. Look at what Jake has done the last 3+ years. He's a 240 hitter. He's like a 715 lifetime OPS guy. Yeah, he has versatility and he can give you a lot of versatility at first, second, and short, but you're paying him $11 million a year to hit 245 with 10 to 15 homers and 60 RBIs and a 715 OPS.
Did you do the deep dive? Did you do the 3-year average?
What? He has got 5 years, 60 left on his deal.
No, I'm sorry, but did you actually look up his numbers since 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
he's a 247 career lifetime hitter.
And he's 239 since 2022.
Right. Every year since he's broken into the bigs in 2020, he has gone down in production.
Yeah.
And now he's what, a 30-year-old player?
At least he's got to be older than 30. He is he'll turn 32 in January.
I just think that if you gotta, do you care more about nicknames or do you care more about winning?
Nicknames.
Okay, well then you keep Jake Cronenworth. So
that's why they added Adcock.
Right. So John can say Crone Zone every time he hits a home run.
Correct. All right. What about Ethan Salas?
Who?
Because I'm seeing some chatter about Ethan Salas and what his ceiling remains, and we'll discuss on the other side. Plus, BJ Davis, San Diego State junior guard, coming off the bench last night in a win to score 18 points. He'll join us live coming up at 3:30. John and Jim, stay with us. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim again for our friends over at Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We've told you the hotel and spa at Hamul now open. The next level of luxury, it has arrived. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Hamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Hamul 23, from their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to the luxurious VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulgent chef-curated specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
And you're going to love the spa. It is now open, Hamul Spa, over at Hamul Casino Resort. You can unwind in style, experience pure relaxation, indulgent treatments, serene spaces, and a retreat designed to refresh your body and mind. Only at Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, John and Jim, BJ Davis will join us live. San Diego State junior guard, big night last night in a win at VA House. Will join us coming up at 3:30. Also, Cowboys Lions kickoff at 5:15 right here on San Diego Sports 760. I think I sent you something, Jim. And
No, you didn't.
No, it wasn't right now.
Okay.
And it was earlier.
Today?
Yes, it was this idea. This is from at Padres fan.
Oh, yeah.
Padres fan takes. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, not like whomever that is. I just wanted to use it like as a jumping off point because it's like an interesting angle on Ethan Salas. He writes that Ethan Salas's defense is so elite. I can't even say this with a straight face. He writes this: Ethan Salas's defense is so elite that to be a Hall of Fame talent, he just needs to be a 750 OPS guy.
That's it.
For context, Johnny Molina only had an OPS above 750 5 times in 19 years and didn't achieve it until age 28. As long as he's not a complete zero with the bat, he'll be special. Well, a couple of things there. The dude missed all of last year with a back injury and hit 110 games. And let's just go down the path, Jim, that he will one day be an impactful bat like Yadi Molina at the age of 28. Well, the issue with that is that's in 9 years.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a problem with the team they have constructed right now.
In 9 years, Manny Machado will be like 43.
Right. He's going to like have a cane and walk around with a limp.
Dude, in 9 years, Merrill is going to be on the second half of his career. Like 9 years is a long time.
The thing with Ethan Salas is for me, that ship has sailed as far as him being impactful at all in the Padres window they have right now.
Right.
I'm only concerned about this current window with Manny and Toddy and Xander and Jackson Merrill and Joe and Pivetta. Like, let's be real. Ethan Salas is not going to be on the roster with any of the guys I just named. Well, maybe a couple.
Yeah, maybe a couple.
Merrill and Tatis and Xander and Manny, just because their contracts are so freaking long. But as far as being with the team in a window right now to impact and help win in the primes of these guys' careers, it's not happening. And even when Ethan Salas gets called up, guess what? It's going to take a long time for this guy to develop. I just feel that it is. Catchers take a long time unless you literally burst on the scene. And oh, by the way, even if you do burst on the scene, there's no guarantee that you're going to stick and hit in the big leagues at all. Like, when's the last catcher that we saw that was 19 years old come up to the majors and be incredibly impactful from day one?
It's probably been forever.
Like, I off the top of my head,
it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
So this Ethan Salas like mystique that he has, I just don't buy it, because I look at what he's done in the minors. He's got back problems. He can't hit. And I know the prospect rankings are just rankings and they can mean whatever you want them to mean. But I do think it's something when he goes from a top 15 prospect in baseball to like damn near out of the top 100.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, couple of things, like before we make the leap from this is all Salas needs to do to be a Hall of Famer, how about playing a full minor league season and being impactful?
That would be
before we put him in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. How about, I don't know, develop properly in the minor leagues, stay healthy, hit 250 1 year with a little bit of power. Like, how about reach the major leagues, have a level of success in it at some point? So, I mean, we're nowhere near the Ethan Salas era with the Padres. I mean, we still don't even know if we'll ever play one game with San Diego. The way AJ Preller operates as a general manager, we don't know about him as a player, how he'll develop, and we don't know if he'll be moved at some point between now and whenever he could make a major league debut. So I just would say, like, let's slow down a little bit on what Salas's ceiling is when, like, we don't know what his floor is either, based on what we've seen so far.
We don't know anything about Ethan Salas. Nothing. Now, the organization knows more than we do, but as far, like, we don't know anything about what he's going to be, what he's going to look like at the big league level. And he, like, let's just say it, he's not going to contribute to winning in the immediate future. It's not happening.
Right.
And so with that, I just feel like there's not really much point to talk about him unless he's involved in a trade package in the next couple of years to bring back proven talent to this major league roster.
Which I think most people, me and you specifically, I would not be opposed to at all. I mean, if he would have moved this past year in the Mason Miller deal, I'd be like, okay. In fact, 100%. I would have been much more comfortable with him moving over Leo DeVries. Okay. All right.
Yep.
You know, it happens. Part of the game.
Give me the star position player that plays in the field over the catcher.
Yeah, completely agree. So anyway, just kind of food for thought. I mean, again, can Ethan Salas potentially help this team at some point? Of course. It's impossible to say no to that. But when is that? And I agree with you. It is not in the immediate future. I mean, it's certainly not at some point in the next 2 years. All right. On the other side, we're going to switch gears back to the Aztecs. Big win at home. They get back to the winning ways. BJ Davis off the bench has been a revelation. 18 points yesterday, a personal 8-0 run. at one point in the first half. He's going to join us live on the other side. We'll talk about San Diego State, where they're at, coming off this win last night at Viejas. Looking ahead as well with BJ Davis, San Diego State junior guard Chris Hodge taking Vegas. He will join us, Jim. You were right. You're a genius. Chris Hodge taking Vegas will join us coming up at 4:30. We have Thursday Night Football tonight, Cowboys and Lions at 5:15. BJ Davis on the other side, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. We'll start with the Aztecs as they got back in the win column last night, beating Utah Valley 77-66. BJ Davis led the way with 18 points off the bench. He'll join us here coming up next. And the Padres made a signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to the Major League roster. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. With new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
All right, big win last night for San Diego State, getting back to the winning ways at Viejas over Utah Valley, a very good team out of the WAC that won 25 games a year ago. BJ Davis starring again for San Diego State. He scores 18 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, had 2 steals, and the junior guard joins us right now live on John and Jim, home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. So first of all, BJ, congratulations on last night. Thanks for hopping on. And I guess I would just start with, how much have you embraced this role of being a spark plug for this team?
Just if that's what they need me to do, then I'll go out wholeheartedly and do the best I can. So.
All right, BJ Davis with us right now, San Diego State junior guard. So last night, Utah Valley, you had a week off coming off Las Vegas. What was the mentality? Like, what was the week like after losing 2 out of 3 in Las Vegas? What was the week like getting ready for last night?
Just try to buy in more, just come together as a unit and, really just lock in and day out and study the details of what we need to do to win this game and be successful.
For you, BJ, this team has a lot of depth. So how has it been, managing all the depth and how has it been for you, going into these games when you have 11, 12 deep at a time?
It's been good, we got a bunch of great players and great talent. So the drop-off is there's really no drop-off. You put one great player in and another great player is coming there right after him. So it's been nice having that. But it's been good just having that every day and being able to work with guys like that and be in the same space as guys like that to just push them and get better, learn stuff from them.
You know better than we do. I mean, obviously, San Diego State has prided itself on defense for decades, right? Since you were born, essentially, since Steve Fisher got to campus, and of course Brian Dutcher as well. You got back to your defensive ways, so to speak, last night. Utah Valley was a terrific offensive team. They were averaging like 86 points per game. You held them to 66. They were shooting 53% as a team. You held them last night to 42% shooting overall. What did you think of the overall defensive effort from your unit last night?
I think it was great. I think we had each other's back out there when, somebody got beat and the next man was recovering for him and everybody else was scrambling from there. So I think we did a good job of having each other's back.
For you, what do you think this team still needs to improve on as we get closer to conference play?
I think we just need to become more sound, become more fluid on offense, and just more communicative on defense. That way, just the small lapses won't happen, and we'll be able to close out games.
BJ Davis with us right now, John and Jim. He scored 18 points last night in Aztec 77-66 win over Utah Valley. You talked about the depth and the talent. 59 points from the bench last night, including Tay Simmons, the freshman who scored 15 points in 14 minutes. What do you make of that? When you hear 59 points, I think it's the highest percentage of points scored by a San Diego State bench since at least 1996. What do you make of that?
I think we have really good players all around, and I think that we'll continue to. It'll continue to show as the games go on and as we get more opportunities to go out there and show what we can do.
How would you sum up the first 7 games of your season so far?
I would say it's positive. We had some losses, but those losses showed us our deficiencies and where we need to be more conscious in and just focus in and study the details more in certain areas that will allow us to maximize as a team.
When you go back to when you were, go back 2 years and the highs and lows of being a freshman in college and what that entails and what you've seen from some of these true freshmen this year for your team, whether it's Tay Simmons last night or what we've seen from LZ Harrington at times during his freshman year, what's it been like from your seat to watch the successes of some of the younger players?
It's been amazing to see them, be so new to this and come in and step in and have such a huge impact. I think it's awesome. It's super inspiring to see that coming from those guys.
For you, BJ, what are some things that you want to improve on as the season goes on, just for you individually? I know that you're becoming the spark plug off the bench, but what else do you want to continue to grow with this season?
I think I just want to, enhance my leadership abilities as well. Just encouraging my teammates and motivating them, getting them into that state of mind to where they want to go out and give it their all. So I'll say that.
There was something I noticed last night before the game. I think in the warm up period before the game, maybe in the 60 minutes leading up to the game, you guys were working on defense, which is so rarely seen in college basketball. Typically, you see like layup lines and stretching going on, 45 minutes before a game. Last night, Dave Velasquez was out there with your team, and you guys were practicing defensive drills. What impact did that make, if any?
I think it had a huge impact to be able to warm up on that side of the ball and really, get the motor going on that side of the ball. I think it was good for us. So I hope we continue to do that moving forward.
I feel like last night, defensively, as you said, like it felt more like an Aztec style of defense. But, there's been games this season so far that have kind of been uncharacteristic styles of play as far as defensive goes. For you and for this team going forward, the emphasis on defense, I'm sure, is an all-time high, knowing that, the margin for error is a little shorter for you guys. But for you, what parts defensively do you feel like need improvement? And what parts defensively do you feel like you're doing a really good job as a team so far?
Improvement, I'd say, honestly, our rebounding. We're pretty high in the rankings when it comes to rebounding. And I believe that's our effort and just willingness. So if we can pour in more effort and willingness on the rebounding side, then I think that will enhance our overall defense, because we can guard pretty much anyone in the half court, and we do a good job in the half court. But when teams get that shot up and they get a second chance, it's kind of demoralizing sometimes, because it's like, man, we got to guard all over again. And that tends to give them easy baskets. So just rebounding, we really hone in on that and limit teams to one shot, and it'll enhance our overall defense.
I guess final one for me would be, do you feel like there was some growth over the last couple of weeks? I go back to the Troy game, and then I'm watching last night, and both games you had to deal with adversity as a team. Like I think about last night, a couple of turnovers late, all of a sudden it's a 3-point game, but you overcome that and you stayed active offensively and you hit some shots late collectively as a team to win the game by 11. Did you feel that as a player out there, that like some of the lessons from Troy were learned last night in a win over Utah Valley?
Yes, definitely. All those games, different styles of teams and how we guard those teams. And as we keep playing games, we'll develop, we'll become more comfortable with our schemes and how we guard certain teams because of who they have on the floor. So just things like that. Just time as long as we continue to work, and it'll work in our favor.
I said final one would be this. Dutch talked about before the game like a sense of urgency and almost a sense of desperation, because you know what still needs to be accomplished moving forward.
Right.
Did you feel that as a player? Like, do you feel the urgency now to be at your best as a team now and moving forward?
Oh, definitely. And as a player that strives for the best on and off the court, I always feel like that. I always feel that sense of urgency. So, but yeah, like Coach said, it's very important to have that, because, we need that panic to be able to come together on defense and really shut them down how the Aztecs do.
BJ, congrats, man. 18 points last night. You've been in double figures in 5 consecutive games. You're playing some of the best basketball of your career on the Mesa, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week against Lamar back at Viejas Arena. So thanks for doing it today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, great stuff. BJ Davis, San Diego State junior guard. We do have 2 tickets to give away for that game against Lamar. That is coming up next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So 6 days from now, San Diego State and Lamar. We'll give away some tickets for that game. Actually, we'll do it on the other side. We'll do it later this hour. So we'll do that in the next 15 or 20 minutes. So they've had a lot of like rest periods, like they play and then they sit a week.
Yeah, 7 days off.
Yeah. And then almost like a football schedule, because it's what they've played 7 games and it's December, and their first game I think was November 3rd or November 4th. So like they've had some rest, and the schedule will certainly pick up once we get to January.
As I say, once they get after Christmas break's done, then we're gonna get back to our usual. Usually Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday type of a deal. Yeah.
So again, I thought steps forward last night, not the final step, obviously, but steps forward last night for San Diego State. Chris Hodge will join us, Jim, coming up at 4:30. He will get us ready for Cowboys and Lions. Is this like a loser out type game?
No, but it is a loser has a tougher road ahead game. It's a winner is in a good spot game.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game is more important to Detroit than Dallas.
Yeah, Detroit's 2 games behind the Bears and at least a win behind Green Bay. Green Bay has a tie. If Detroit, the loser of this game is in trouble, dude.
Well, here's the thing. So the Cowboys play the Lions tonight.
Yep.
Then their final 4 games of the year. They host the Vikings. They host the Chargers. They're on the road at the Commanders, and they're on the road to finish up their season at New York to face the Giants. They could run the table if they win tonight.
Right. Yeah, and then they could get to, how many wins is that? 12 wins.
That is, if
they win tonight, they could get to 12 wins. They go to 12-5.
No, because they're 6-5-1. They win tonight. They're 7. They got 4 more games remaining.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Detroit.
No. I'm talking about the Cowboys.
That's who has Vikings, but that's not that easy. Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants. That's not.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean the Chargers isn't a freaking cakewalk, is it?
It's not a cakewalk, but at the same time, it's a very winnable game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're at home.
JJ McCarthy, give me a break. That's a very winnable game for the Cowboys. Commanders, they suck this year, and the Giants are one of the worst teams in football.
No, I was saying the Chargers.
What about the Chargers?
I'm saying that's not like some guaranteed win.
I know, but I'm saying it's a very winnable game for the Cowboys. Is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a coin flip game, right?
Did you not see the Cowboys beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving or not?
Bro, Chiefs are 6-6. The Chargers are 8-4.
Okay. Do you think the Chiefs are?
I think the Chiefs are on the outside looking in right now.
Okay, but I think the Chargers have some major problems in their offensive line, and the Cowboys are a team that at home play pretty well. So I think it's a very winnable game for the Cowboys.
So do you think the Cowboys are going to run the table?
I never said that. I just said that if they win tonight, you look at their schedule, it's very favorable, and they could do some damage.
True, but again, the loser tonight, like if Dallas loses tonight, 6-1, even if they won out. Oh, there it is. It's on TV right now. It says chances to make playoffs. If Dallas wins, it's only 34%. If Detroit wins, the Lions have a 56% chance of making the postseason. This is a critical game. Because the television is saying the loser of this game is unlikely to make the postseason.
Oh,
what?
I'm just look at the schedule. The Lions lose tonight. They play the Rams, Steelers, Vikings, and Bears. Okay. Who would have a more favorable schedule? The Cowboys or the Lions after tonight?
The Cowboys.
Correct.
Yeah, but they can't lose this game. It doesn't matter. The favorable schedule is great, but if you lose the game and you're 2.5 games out of a playoff spot with 4 to play, you're not. Who cares if you go 4-0?
And you run the table, and that tie could actually really help you out.
You're right, but right now, just looking at it, I mean, the 7th seed right now is 9-4, right?
9-4, yes.
Yeah, so you go to 6-6. Good luck.
Well, I'm just saying, if the Cowboys lose tonight, it's a bigger game for the Lions than it is for the Cowboys, in my opinion. Because the Cowboys have an easier schedule down the stretch than the Lions. Lions are going to have a tough game against the Rams and the Bears. We'll see about the Steelers. Steelers are kind of frauds to me. But the Cowboys, all 4 of those games are very winnable. And if the Lions lose tonight, 7-6, that's tough.
Yeah, I think either way. I'm going to say this. Quote me on it. Loser of this game doesn't make the postseason.
Maybe both of them don't make the postseason. Whoever wins the game doesn't even matter, probably.
That is possible as well. That's possible. We'll give away Aztec tickets on the other side for next Wednesday night against Lamar. Chris Hodge will join us. Free picks for our listeners. We'll talk about this Cowboys and Lions game coming up. He'll join us at 4:30. We've got football coming up at 5:15, John and Jim. All right, Chris Hodge coming up 4:30 Thursday Night Football at 5:15. John and Jim with you on this Thursday afternoon, reacting to the big Padres signing of the day. If you missed it, I don't even know if he's a right-hander or a left-hander, to be honest with you.
You don't? Take a guess.
Right-hander?
There you go.
Because
we said it like 3 times.
8 and 10 pitchers are right-handed. Who said it? Have you said it in the updates?
You even said it. You read the press release.
No, I didn't read the press. Oh, no, I was reading a scouting report. Yeah. Well, they've added this right-handed reliever. And it's basically, I'm thinking about the moves they've made this offseason. We've talked about it. So Kyle Hart back. Luis Campusano signed to a 1-year deal. And now Ty Adcock signed as a potential reliever coming out of their bullpen.
Boring.
Yeah, snooze. I mean, it's honestly their last 3 off seasons have been like that.
And it's probably going to continue, to be honest. Like we're going to get to next week, winter meetings. The stove will be officially lit.
Yeah.
And the Padres will be sitting in the corner watching everybody cook.
Are you expecting just around the sport there to be cooking going on? Like, are you expecting some big moves to transpire over the next 7 days in baseball?
Yes, I am.
I am
yes.
too. I am too.
I think Dylan Cease, while I wouldn't put him at the top of the list as far as free agents, go this offseason, he was still up there, right? At least he was a top 10 free agent going into this offseason.
Sure.
And he's already signed. So the ball is rolling as far as the pitching market goes. It's been set. And because it's been set, the trickle-down effect, I think you can see, all right, everything's slotted in. We know what guys are going to get, or at least we know what guys are going to want to get because everything's playing off of what Dylan Cease got with the Blue Jays. And I think the Blue Jays are going to be also very active. They're not done.
Yep.
I think you could see other teams, trades. The Mets are obviously a team that's always going to be looking to make moves. Pete Alonso's still out there. Michael King. Got Robert Suarez. I'm forgetting Kyle Tucker's another big name, obviously. Kyle Schwarber. I could see there be a lot of moves next week during the winter meetings. Unfortunately, I think a lot of those moves will be happening around the Padres and not for the Padres because right now you got a lame duck GM, you got a ownership group that wants to sell the team, and the word on the street, not really the street, but Jeff Passan is they're looking to move money. So that's a recipe for a lot of nothing.
Potentially, I agree with that. What do you think? Here, I'm going to ask this, and then I'm going to refocus it based on what ESPN has. What do you think Michael King gets in free agency? Years and dollars.
I think we talked about this.
Did you see what Kylie McDaniel wrote?
No, I didn't. But I was going to say 5 for 130.
Okay. Before I read Kylie McDaniel, I would have said 4 for 100. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So me and you were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
This is today at ESPN.com. Michael King, projected contract. Kylie McDaniel, MLB reporter. 3 years, $57 million.
What?
Correct. I'll send you the link. 3 years, $57 million.
Where do I sign up for that?
Exactly. It says this seems to be a nice gamble in a world where a number 3/number 4 starter goes for 15 to 20 million a year. So he's basically projecting King to be a mid-rotation guy, not a front rotation guy, but a mid-rotation guy. Is that because of his health?
All because he slept wrong in Atlanta?
I mean, again, after that, obviously we didn't see anything out of him by and large, but I feel like that's because he wasn't healthy.
Yeah, he has knee drain. I think he had one good start, and then he had that one inning pitched.
He did
in Chicago where he struck out the side. He looked really good. Man, if you told me right now Michael King signs for what was it, 3 for 57?
That's 19 a year.
If he signs somewhere for 3 years and $57 million, and we find out the Padres never made an offer.
I mean, 3 for 57 is insane. Like, I don't care what organization you are, but if that's offered to the San Diego Padres, how could you possibly say no to that? If that's offered to the Pittsburgh Pirates, how could you say no to that?
Well, I'm just saying, if he goes elsewhere and the Padres, we find out, never even offered him or never went to that length to try to sign him to 3 for 57.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That would be an absolute joke if we find that out or if that actually happens.
Well, and to your point, to go further than that, if he signed with someone 3 for 57, I'd be like, why didn't you sign him then? Why didn't you offer 58?
Exactly.
Now, I think maybe he ends up getting more than that. Here's another name, by the way, on the list. Like Hassan Kim is on this list of free agents to sign. Like,
bring the band back together.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I mean, he's on a 1 year. He's projected contract 1 year, $15 million.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that either. Excuse me, 1 year, $16 million.
No, I wouldn't do that.
What about Eugenio Suarez? 2 years, $45 million.
Yes,
he's on like the don't buy list at that dollar figure. I'm with you. I would because of his power.
Duke hit 45 bombs
That's
for
the thing.
Like, I need some pop in this lineup. The Padres desperately need some pop. You saw what this team did last year. They couldn't hit home runs that their life depended on it.
Would they finish 29th? Something ridiculous. 28th or 29th in baseball in homers.
All of their metrics, their advanced metrics as far as power goes, basically told you without telling you this team was destined to never win a World Series last year. There was no shot that last year's team could have ever won a World Series because no team in like the modern era has won a World Series with those awful numbers when you look at the power numbers for a baseball team.
Right. Like, we didn't even need to watch the postseason, you're saying, because the indicators were there.
Yeah, I could have turned off the postseason and told you the Padres didn't win the World Series. It was the easiest call in the world because they didn't hit for power. No team in baseball and in today's game wins in the postseason if you don't have power in your lineup. It just doesn't happen. And all you got to do is look at the World Series this past year and the teams that hit more home runs in a series won games. And you look at all the postseason teams, the teams that went the farthest are the teams that hit the most home runs. It's pretty simple math. And if the Padres don't fix that math, they aren't winning. It's plain and simple. It's easy to solve this equation. Home runs equals potential postseason success. No home runs, you're not doing anything in the postseason.
Can you go from, it's like serious question, because 2 years ago they hit him at a better clip. Can you go from 29th in the sport to 10th?
The only way that happens is, we talked about this before. Fernando Tatis Jr. turns back into Fernando Tatis Jr. of old. Jackson Merrill stays healthy, hits 25 to 30 bombs. Manny Machado continues to post at 25 to 30 home runs. Xander Bogaerts gives you 15 to 20. And then, even then, you're still probably looking at, you need at least one more power bat in that lineup.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I just don't see the calculus on it. You go from 29th to 10th. Show me how. I mean, you can hope, but can you actually do something like that in 2026? We'll get to the wrap on the other side. Chris Hodge will join us at 4:30. Thursday Night Football coming up at 5:15. This is John and Jim.
All right, this update's brought to you by Macy's Backstage. We'll start with the Aztecs. They're back in the win column as they beat Utah Valley last night, 77-66. BJ Davis led the way off the bench with 18 points. And the Padres made a huge signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Adcock, to the Major League roster. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3. We're here until 5:15. We've got Thursday Night Football, Cowboys, Lions. We have Chris Hodge taking Vegas. So I'll have free picks. College and NFL coming up at 4:30. This is Conference Championship weekend. I hope you're sitting, Jim. I know you're excited.
I am sitting.
Which conference? Put your phone down. Which conference championship game are you most looking forward to and why? I want to see if you can off the cuff give me something. You should be able to.
And you have to name the teams. You can't just name a random conference.
You should be able to.
Yeah, no, this is easy.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the Big Ten championship with Ohio State, Indiana.
Agreed.
Number 1 and 2 teams in the nation.
Yeah.
I'm also intrigued with the ACC championship.
That's bizarre.
Because Duke has a chance to sneak their way into the college football playoff potentially.
I don't know if they will, dude. If Duke wins the ACC, will they be behind other Group of 5 leagues? Because they're like, what are they, 7-5?
They're 7-5.
7-5. I mean, in the ACC,
how Miami's not in the ACC championship game is insane.
Makes no sense.
I'm also intrigued by the SEC championship title game with Georgia and Alabama.
Okay, look at you.
Let's see here.
Round 3, Boise State, UNLV. They've met the last 3 years.
I am not intrigued by that because that just annoys me and pisses me off.
Me too.
Like, can we get something new here? Like, what are we doing? It's just ridiculous. It's another year that's the same old. Can't wait till the Aztecs are out of that stupid Mountain West Conference.
Okay.
What else? That's probably it. What about you?
I agree with you. I think, well, it's a new world where it doesn't matter who wins Ohio State, Indiana, because they're both in the playoff. Here's what I would do. Not that anyone's asking. Get rid of conference championship weekend and just make it part of the playoff and don't crown a national champion January 20th, move it up a week. Like, we should have a national champion around New Year's, in my opinion, in college football. Everyone loves, like, think back to your childhood. You're watching big bowl games on the 1st or the 2nd. So, like, crown a national champion by, like, the 8th or the 10th, not the 20th. It's too late for me. I just think there's so much potential with the playoff that is not going to be reached. That's my problem with it. I like the college basketball. You know, everyone likes the NCAA tournament, but the college football playoff is so much different than the NCAA tournament. I just feel like there's so much work to be done on that.
Can you tell me who's in the Sun Belt Championship game?
Of course I can. JMU and Troy.
Wow.
Of course I can. Are you joking?
What about the American?
Of course I can. Tulane, North Texas. What is this? My first day on earth?
Are you looking at the
No, I'm not looking. You can
give him a conference that doesn't have ranked teams in it.
I know Jacksonville State is in a championship game this week.
Who's playing for the MAC?
Miami of Ohio is certainly in that game. Now, who's Miami of Ohio playing? I can't answer that. It might be Miami of Ohio is playing Western Michigan in my head.
That's correct.
Thank you. Who's Jacksonville State playing in CUSA? Oh, Jacksonville State.
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw. Not Kennesaw, but Kennesaw.
Oh, Kennesaw.
I like that. Good call. That's great.
What about, well, that's it.
That's it, really. Big 12 is BYU, Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's all we got.
I'm looking forward to it, but again, I don't know. I want more out of the playoff, but I'm looking forward to the weekend. NFL, we'll talk all.
You also know where you're going to be traveling for the Aztecs bowl game too.
I'm going to learn on Sunday, you're saying?
Yeah, that's so like this weekend for you. Are you more intrigued in that or the games?
Probably where the bowl game is.
Yeah.
Because it impacts like my schedule.
Right.
And I don't know what I'm like hoping for as like, am I hoping for a warm destination, cold, good opponent, right time of year, away from Christmas?
Did I see this correctly? Cal accepted the invite to the Hawaii Bowl?
Yes. Cal versus Hawaii is official.
Okay.
There's one other game that's been official in Texas.
Why is that being like announced now and San Diego State has to wait till Sunday?
They normally announce the Hawaii Bowl game a little early because of logistics.
Okay.
Because the opponent has to get there. That's
it's easy for Cal. It's only a 6-hour flight. So
right, but they can't drive.
Nobody can drive, John.
Good point. So it's actually a decent game. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Chris Hodge will join us coming up at 4:30. Right now, though, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Are the Aztecs back?
Well, they are back. They're back at Viejas Arena, right?
They will be on Wednesday, and they were last night.
First half last night would lend me to say no, they're not officially back. But like I said, it's better to learn in wins, and they always say that as well. It's better to learn in wins than losses, and just stack up wins and try to stack up as many wins as possible. And hopefully, by the time we get to the end of January and February, this team is clicking a little bit more than they are right now.
Yeah, obviously, I'm with you. I mean, it's going to take a longer effort. I mean, they're going to need to play well by and large for the next 3+ months. So we'll see. But I do think it was a step forward last night. An 11-point win. They were an 8.5-point favorite. They closed as an 8.5-point favorite. They won by 11. I think it's a good overall win. See if they can build off it next week against Lamar. Then conference play starts December 17th at home against the Air Force Academy. So hopefully an opportunity for San Diego State to rattle off a couple of wins in a row. Next question.
John, what the hell is Penn State doing?
Yes, John. Well, Jim has followed this. Everyone has followed this story. If you're a sports fan, you have seen Penn State be denied. This is like Dikembe Mutombo in his prime. Like they've been like blocked at the rim like 15 times. I mean, it's to the point where it's kind of comical. And eliminate the words kind of. I have no idea what they are doing. I think it might cost their athletic director his job, would be my guess. What are you doing? You fired James Franklin 55 days ago, and you're the only team that doesn't have a head coach by and large in FBS football. It doesn't make any sense. So is there some grand plan? Is Mike Tomlin walking through that door? Is Bill Belichick? I'm kidding. Is George Halas? Is Vince Lombardi? Like, what is the grand plan for Penn State? Because it's played out over 55 days.
Well, here's what I think is happening, and it's not my take. It's what I've read.
Is this coming from Aaron's dad?
No, it's not.
Okay,
not actually. So we talked a little bit about this yesterday when you left. Jimmy Sexton, you know him, right?
Power agent.
Power agent. Guess who he was an agent for? Or is an agent for? James Franklin.
I know.
Also, Jimmy Sexton. He controls basically all the moves in college football for all the big schools, for everybody.
Right.
And the CEO of Crumble Cookie the other day was pissed off about James Franklin.
No, he was pissed off about them going after BYU's head coach because he's a BYU alum.
And then, so the whole thing, I think, is Jimmy Sexton making life hell for Penn State's AD to hire a new head coach.
But why? I've seen that take on social as well. But what's the theory on that? Wouldn't he want one of his clients going there, even if James Franklin is not the first coach to be fired that Jimmy Sexton represents, right? Like, wouldn't he just want to represent the next guy that's going to make $11 million a year and get 5% of it?
Maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, it's an interesting theory. I don't know. I feel like other coaches get fired.
I was this firing was it a surprise? Because I think it was a surprise to a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, they started number 2 in the nation, then they lost 3 straight games. It's like
James Franklin. All he did there was win. He just never could win the big game.
Right.
And now
and
the first year, kind of the first year that he had struggles and loses a couple games in a row, they fire him.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. What do you got, Brian?
I was gonna say, I told John in the commercial break that they kind of reminded me of the Cowboys last year, to where they thought everyone was gonna line up and be waiting out in front of Jerry World to come apply for that job, and then everyone they asked was like, "No, I'm cool, I don't want it. No, I'm good, I don't want it." And then by the time they actually hired a coach, they had to hire the only guy that was pretty much left, and they didn't really get who they wanted. And that's kind of what Penn State's doing now. Is they're like, "Hey, do you want to coach?" "No, I don't." Okay.
It's gonna be like Ornberger. it's gonna be like
it's gonna be you and Rich.
Exactly. Next question.
Who wins tonight's Lions Cowboys showdown?
This is in Detroit, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna go with the Lions on this one.
I agree with you. I think the Lions at home win. I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Lions win at home.
I think it was flipped. If it was in Dallas, I'd pick the Cowboys.
What's the line in this? Is this maybe Lions minus 3.5?
3.5 Lions.
Okay. Yeah. I like the Lions to win a close game. I would agree with that. Next question.
Will Michael King get more or less than $100 million in free agency?
Well, if we're going off of what Kylie McDaniel said, I mean, shoot, he's going to get less than $100 million. But that report kind of makes me feel like he could get less than $100 million.
Agreed.
Kylie McDaniel's obviously locked in. I'll say he gets less. I've always thought that he could get more. I think he deserves more. I think he's a pitcher that, $100 plus million for Michael King, like, makes sense because we've seen him pitch and he's really good when healthy. And the only reason why he wasn't healthy last year is he slept wrong. But Kylie McDaniel throwing out 3 for 57 makes me kind of wonder, like, is there something going on here? So I'll say under. I'll say under 100 million.
I completely agree with you. I would have said 100 plus. Now I'm thinking, even if 57 is low, how low is it? I mean, maybe it's 4 for 80, but 100 seems like maybe a reach. I thought Dylan Cease set the market higher, and that would benefit Michael King. I mean, Cease got over $200 million. That was unnecessary. Like, they bid against themselves, presumably. It didn't seem like they had to pay Dylan Cease $210 million.
Made no sense.
Yeah, but it felt like you could have had him. It was like the Bogarts offseason. It's like 280. It's like nobody was offering 140.
Right. Like the highest offer was like 170. And all of a sudden they come in at 210.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I thought Cease meant King would get at least half of that. I mean, King is worth that. King to me is the better option than Dylan Cease. If I had that option and I was the Padres and I could bring in Michael King for the next 3 or 4 years and do it at a reasonable dollar figure, I am 100% on board. So I'm not fascinated by that. Like, where will Michael King land and for how much money? I do think that's intriguing heading into the winter meetings. And maybe there is an outside chance, Jim, where, I don't know, if it stays at $60 million, the Padres would be involved in a deal like that.
And maybe we're completely wrong on this. And maybe Dylan Cease goes out and he finishes top 3 in Cy Young voting next year in the American League. And Michael King goes out for next season and kind of looks like a middle of the road number 3 starter. Like, maybe we're completely wrong, but what we watched the last 2 seasons when those 2 guys were healthy, I mean, you ask any Padres fan, like, who do you think was a better pitcher, Michael King or Dylan Cease? And I think 9 out of 10 Padres fans, maybe 10 out of 10 would tell you Michael King.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, 70470 started with team. Who would you want, King or Cease? I mean, again, it's theoretical at this point because Cease isn't coming back, and we don't know about King. But I mean, who would you prefer if you could have either of them on the 2026 Padres, Michael King or Dylan Cease? 70470 started with the word team, plus another Padres move at this hour. That we'll discuss on the other side. Plus, Chris Hodge taking Vegas at 4:30 and Thursday Night Football coming up at 5:15 right here on John and Jim. All right, join San Diego Sports 760, ESET, SeaWorld, Cable Pipe and Leak Detection, and Crowley Car Company to support Rady Children's Hospital this holiday season, Tuesday, December 9th, Wednesday, December 10th. You'll hear stories of hope and healing from Rady Children's patients and families during the iHeart Rady Children's Give-a-thon. Make a donation today by texting SPORTS to 51555. That's SPORTS to 51555, or donate at radyfoundation.org/give-a-thon. All right, Chris Hodge will join us in 10 minutes. The Padres have made another impactful move. But before we get to that, I just sent Jim a link of what the Pokemon characters looked like before they were Pokemon characters or something. What did I send you? I don't know. But I found it interesting. Something.
You said, artist reveals what your favorite Pokemon almost looked like. In 2018, an old Pokemon Gold and Silver demo from the 90s leaked online, revealing dozens of early Pokemon designs that were never released. Mm-hmm. These early versions only existed as tiny pixel sprites inside the prototype games, and many were changed or completely redesigned before the final version came out.
So, and then it shows different ones, like, I don't know any of these characters, like Leafeon and Epsilon and Umbreon and Dragonair.
There you go.
And Nidoqueen.
And Nidoqueen.
And Octillery.
Sure. Let's hear. They got Poliwrath, Ghastly, Jumpluff, Ivysaur, Suicune, Gengar, Seal.
But where's the main dude?
Gyarados looks really bad.
Who's the main guy?
I mean, Charizard?
Yeah.
Not on here, John.
He's not even on here.
These look very weird.
How did Pokemon become so huge? It's a big question. It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
It's a loaded question. Yeah, I mean, you're a Pokemon guy.
I'm a Pokemon guy, yes. What do you want to know?
I don't really want to know anything.
Exactly.
I really don't.
Yeah, if you ask the question, you better be prepared for me to answer it.
That's the issue. All right. Have you seen this move that has come down at this hour involving the Padres? The move is for Jace Bowen. Yes, Jace Bowen has been signed to a minor league deal. And last year in the minor leagues, he had 272 with 37 RBIs. Jace Bowen. Now, who is Jace Bowen? He is a 25-year-old, former 11th round pick of the Pirates. And he is going to be a AAA El Paso Chihuahua next year.
I can't emphasize this enough. All right.
You just don't care.
Let me try to emphasize this to the best of my ability.
Sell it.
All right. Nobody cares.
Jace's parents care.
No, they don't.
In Northwood, Ohio.
No, they don't. They got a text from their son, and they're like
what?
What? Where
are you gonna be?
What? San Diego. They have a team.
I mean, it's kind of, here's the thing: when you spend your career in the Pirates organization and you don't make the Pirates.
Well, look, the Padres, they have a lot of holes, and them. They love to just, bring up guys, and dude, who cares?
No, nobody does. But anyway, I mean, how the minor league, I will say this, out of the minor league invites, somebody usually makes the team. Like someone breaks through, right? Who was it this past year for the Padres that broke through as a minor league invite?
I don't know.
Somebody did. Somebody had a really good spring and made the team. It was a minor league invite. Offensive.
Mason McCoy.
Did he have a good spring?
I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Like someone like that is going to make a team.
Yeah, and everybody on Padres Twitter will be like, "Oh, this guy's the next thing," and it's like he'll have 12 at bats. He'll go 1 for 12 with an infield single.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. Again, listen, I'm grasping at straws. I need the winter meetings. I need John Seidler. I need AJ Preller. I need Craig Stammen. A little less eating whatever he was eating in the Dominican, a little more like signing players.
Go. Well, maybe you're going to be disappointed because that's probably not going to happen.
Maybe you'll be disappointed. Oh, Gavin Sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, just burst onto the scene and had like a 40-40 year.
Hey, another guy with a cute nickname. Great.
Sheetsy.
No, Holy Sheets.
Oh yeah, it's like Sheetsy.
Cult hero. He's got if you make it on the Padres and you end up getting a nickname, you're a cult hero in this town.
Does he end up with a mural at some point, or does he have a mural?
Oh, he better get a mural at some point. He's got a nickname. He's got a shirt. Holy Sheets.
Who are the murals in this city?
There's like 15 of them.
Didn't Alfaro end up with one?
He did, because he came up with the phrase LFGSD,
which is a good phrase.
Yeah.
Worthwhile
nice.
phrase.
Right. But hey, if you come up with a phrase, you get a mural. If you got a nickname, you get a mural. Like,
why don't we have a mural?
I don't know, John. Why don't you get it done? Why don't you paint the mural?
Oh, that would be pretty good. Couple of stick figures.
Yeah.
On the side of the iHeartRadio building here.
I mean, Jackson Merrill's got a mural. Fernando Tatis got a mural. Manny's got a mural.
Darvish
has got a mural.
Musgrove.
Joe's got a mural. Cease has got a mural.
Does Adcock?
Peter Silo's got a mural. Adcock does not have a mural yet. Tony has like 4 murals. Who else has
I
a
need
mural?
a Mason Miller mural.
I'm sure there'll be a Mason mural somewhere in this town.
Yep. Randy Vasquez coming soon.
Yeah. Give me a Randy Vasquez and a Ty Adcock mural too.
Together.
Yeah, put them together. It's great.
All right, Chris Hodge taking Vegas. Free picks for our listeners. We'll get us ready for Thursday Night Football, which you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760, beginning at 5:15. Good one tonight. Cowboys and Lions to kick off the NFL weekend. You can hear it again on 760, beginning at 5:15. Chris Hodge, who has been terrific for us throughout the course of this season and in years past, will have some free picks for us coming up on the other side. Don't go anywhere. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. We'll start with the Aztecs. They're back in the win column as they beat Utah Valley last night, 77-66. BJ Davis led the way with 18 points off the bench. The Padres made a huge signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to the Major League roster. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Great time of year. Always great to connect with Chris Hodge, who has been so good for our listeners again this season throughout the course of all these years on 760. Chris Hodge back with us, takingvegas.com. You can catch him, of course, weekends right here on San Diego Sports 760 as well. So 19-13 with the free plays this year right here on 760. There was a big game tonight between the Lions and the Cowboys. And first of all, Chris, hope you had a great holiday last week. We're looking forward to December. How can our listeners get tonight? Dallas, Detroit to kick off Thursday Night Football.
Okay, before I get to that, okay, I sense some sarcasm there.
What, the Ty Adcock?
Yeah, I live in New York. He played for the Mets. I never heard of this guy. Who is this dude?
We're asking the same question today, Chris. The all we have is just puns for his last name. That's it.
Jim loves the name.
Bad puns that we don't want the FCC coming down on us for, so we won't talk about any of that.
Well, it's too late because we already did it.
Oh my! Well, I won't do that to you guys. Same as always, man. Dallas, Detroit, both of these teams played on Thanksgiving. Dallas is probably one of the hotter teams in the league right now, along with Houston and obviously New England, what they're doing. Text the word "win" to the number 545454. You get to play automatically for free. Really like the game tonight. I sent you guys what we're using in the email prior to this call-in. Again, we really like to play tonight, so just text the word "win" to the number 545454, and we hope to get you guys a winner tonight.
All right, so let's go to college football. The big ACC championship game, of course, as everyone expected, Duke and Virginia. What do you got in that one?
Okay, so before I get started with this game, I feel like I have to say this, right? Okay, so what I'm about to say, it is not the opinion of your station. Okay, so we're clear, right? Okay, here we go. I've watched college football all year long. The ACC is the worst officiated conference that there has ever been and will ever be. They are terrible. Now, the CFP, if you guys watched on Tuesday, they have Miami currently out. If Duke wins this game, there is a great chance that the ACC will not make the CFP. If they don't make the CFP, they miss out on $4 million just to get in, and that's not even including if they actually win games. Now, I have watched this conference. I believe, again, my opinion, I'm going to preempt it, that is the dirtiest conference in terms of football in America. The calls that I have watched in these ACC games are insane. Now, it behooves the ACC to have Virginia win this game. I'm not going with rushing yards, passing yards, offensive line, defensive line. I'm telling you right now, the ACC needs Virginia to win this game because if Virginia wins this game, they get in. If Duke wins this game, Duke is not in the CFP, and it's probably James Madison of all teams in their spot, which the CFP doesn't want. So, all of that being said, Virginia is the better football team. They played a couple weeks ago, and Virginia dominated them, put up over 500 yards. But it really is important to not only the ACC, but the CFP to make sure that Virginia wins this game. Virginia is -4. I feel like they're going to get the calls in the game. I feel like they're the better team. And I would absolutely load up. And I don't say that often on your show. I'm always respectful. Load up on Virginia. I don't feel there's any way that they are going to allow Duke to win this football game or even stay in it. They don't even want to take a chance. So I'm going with Virginia -4.
It's so funny you say that. I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, what kind of look is that for the ACC if their conference champion is not in the college football playoff because it's the 7-5 Duke Blue Devils? I've been thinking the exact same thing. Chris Hodge is with us.
We could talk about it like as a debate. Like I believe Miami should be in over Notre Dame. They beat them.
They beat them. Exactly.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. They both have 2 losses. And I know we're going to talk about the CFP a little, but in terms of those 2 teams, they played head-to-head. Miami beat them. Why is Notre Dame ahead of them? I don't get it.
I'll tell you why. Because their name is Notre Dame. You know,
Yeah.
it just
You're
seems
right.
like the rules
money.
are written for them.
And you follow the money.
Yeah.
The ACC needs Virginia to win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you want tonight's game again, we've got Cowboys and Lions. Just text the word WIN to 545454. Again, Chris has been terrific for our listeners, 19-13 with his free plays this year for our listeners. Just text the word WIN, WIN to 545454. Man, Sunday's intriguing in the NFL. I mean, the Chiefs, I don't even know what to make of them at this point. We have Texans and Chiefs on Sunday. What's your play here?
You know, so this is it for Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Like, if they don't win this game, they don't have the tiebreaker with Houston. It will be a couple games ahead of them. And there's a bunch of teams that already have 8 wins. So in terms of this particular season, this is the last stand for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the one thing I will say is, you know, they're a proud team. They played in a lot of big games. But if you look at their particular season, they haven't done well against good defenses. They've put up points against bad defenses. You know, they lose the game to Dallas, and Dallas isn't a great defense, you know, but they put up 28 in that game. They put up 28 against Washington, who stinks defensively. They put up 31 against Las Vegas, who stinks defensively. But if you go look at the teams that are actually good on defense, the Eagles, they scored 17. The Bills, who are a good defensive team, they scored 21. The Broncos, they scored 19. Now they're playing the best defensive team in the league. And they're playing a team that's won 4 straight. So what this comes down to is very simple. Is it the pride factor? It's the last stand. They must win this game at home, where they are 5-1 this year. And if they lose this game, their season's over. They're not making the playoffs if they lose this game. Or are they going to continue to struggle against a great defense? So here's where I'm going to go with this game. I think Kansas City has enough great players. I think they know this is it. This is their last shot, because they're not getting into the playoffs in the AFC with 10-7 and not win. And that's considering they win the rest of their games after this one. And they know they still have a couple tough. They still got Denver left. I believe they're going to show up. I think Houston has won a couple games. That, you know, they win the game against Indianapolis last week, where Daniel Jones is playing with a broken leg. Okay. So they've won a couple of these games. I think the pride is going to show up. And I think Kansas City is going to really put it on Houston in this game. So I'm going to lay the 3.5. I'm going to take Houston. No scientific stuff here. I just think that the team that's been the toast of the AFC ever since Mahomes started, being a full season quarterback, I just think they're going to play a good game in this game. So that's it. I'll go with Kansas City minus 3.5.
So going back to college football this weekend, the conference championship games, who do you think needs to win this weekend for the college football playoff scenarios? And are there potential snubs here that you think could be left out of the college football playoff come next week?
So I wanted to ask you guys a question, right? So I think actually I'll go to the snub question first. I believe Texas is getting snubbed. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. And the reason why I feel that way is because if you look at who Vanderbilt played, and I know Vanderbilt's not in this thing right now, but if you look at who they played week 1, and you look at who Oklahoma played week 1, and then you look at who Texas played week 1, which was Ohio State on the road. So if Oklahoma, this is what the CFP committee is telling me, who, by the way, I hate. If Oklahoma would have played at Ohio State week 1, chances are they lose that game, right?
Yeah.
We can agree with that. So Texas would be sitting with 2 losses, and Oklahoma would have 3, and Texas would be in over Ohio State, over Oklahoma. So what we're doing is we're punishing Texas for going to play Ohio State week 1. I don't think that's fair. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think A, I agree with you, and B, I think it's bad for the sport, because if you tell Texas to just play Kent State at home,
correct,
then they're going 10-2 and they're in the playoff. But because they lost at Ohio State, a team that hasn't lost since the Reagan administration, they're penalized for that. You know what I mean? It doesn't, and the ramifications of that are so significant, because if Texas is out, you're basically telling, I'm just making it up, you're telling Penn State, don't schedule Texas, schedule Youngstown State.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I really think Texas has the greatest snub case right now. They're being penalized for going to Ohio State week 1, losing a 14-7 game in which they outgained, outperformed. They really outplayed Ohio State in that game. They just lost the game, which happens.
Yep.
I think, and I don't think this is fair either, but I think it's going to happen. I think Alabama actually has to win the SEC title. I think if Alabama loses this week to Georgia, which means they would have had to beat Georgia twice this season. I think if Alabama loses this particular game, I don't think they're getting in. I think they might slide Miami in with a 2-loss Miami. So now what we're doing, and again, I don't know if this has happened. This is just in my mind. So now we're going to punish a team that had to play in their conference championship game. Now, Oklahoma beat Alabama head-to-head on the road. So this is very interesting how this is happening. Like, if Alabama loses this week, it would not shock me if they're out. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
I haven't done enough of a deep dive, and I'm a diehard college football fan, but I'm with you. I absolutely despise the format of the CFP. I love the idea of a playoff. I hate the way it's executed. I don't have all the answers. I like the NCAA tournament. I hate the CFP, and somebody needs to figure out a better way to do it.
And I don't mean to cut you off. Here's what I do. I just keep it simple. 1 through 12. Who are the best 12 teams in the country?
Yeah.
I don't care who wins a conference title, who wins this, who wins that. 1 through 12, who are the best 12 teams, and that's who plays, and just line them up, rank them, group them, however you want to do it. What's 1 through 12? I think they're going to expand to 16 anyway.
Yeah.
But right now, 1 through 12, and that's it. That's what I would do, because there's a good to fair chance that James Madison and the winner of the North Texas Tulane game playing this thing, they're going to be plus 24 against whoever they play, and they're going to lose by 100. And we're going to waste our time watching the game.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that game. Chris, before you get out of here, obviously college basketball well underway. There's been tons of good non-conference action. We're heading towards conference play. I know you had a ton of success last year, I remember, with your college basketball plays. What do you want our listeners to know about college basketball season now underway?
So right now we're off to a 25-14 start. I say it all the time. If you guys listen, for everyone out there, if you listen to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast, I say it all the time. The sport we make the most money in is college basketball. There are so many variables in football, coaching decisions, referee calls, weather. This stuff does not exist in college basketball. One play in a college basketball game does not dictate what happens in the game. Any customer who's listening to your show right now, who's spoken to me, I've said the same thing. College basketball is where we make the bulk of our money. We're really excited about a couple matchups that are coming up on Saturday and Sunday. And this coming Tuesday, we have a couple matchups as well. So anyone who wants to get involved, text the word WIN to the number 545454. You get Dallas, Detroit tonight absolutely free. And then we'll tell you how to get involved with our college basketball, which you guys said it. We had a great year last year. We're off to a 25-14 start this year, and we'll look to keep it going.
Chris, we always appreciate you, man. Big time weekend, and we'll catch up again next week. We'll know college football playoff matchups. We're heading towards the NFL postseason, and you'll have some free picks for our listeners next Thursday night. So thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah, man. Enjoy that relief pitch you guys got. I hope he does well for you guys.
It's a big year.
Can't wait.
Big year coming up.
Yeah, he's the missing piece. He fills all the holes, Chris.
Yeah. Look out, Dodgers. All right, thanks, Chris.
You guys are great, man. Have a great night, all right?
Chris Hodge, taking Vegas. Again, if you want tonight's game for free, text WIN to 545454. We're getting you ready for Thursday Night Football. We're here until 5:15. This is John and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer, and there's no better time than now to get at your local Toyota dealer. New vehicles arriving daily, including their most popular cars and trucks and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, you can hurry into your Toyota dealer today, or make sure to head to Toyota.com if you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota. There you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory. Finding the Toyota that's just right for you starts at Toyota.com. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles helps to create a greener planet. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids and plug-in hybrids and fully electric vehicles as well. Or you can take each day further than you thought possible in a new Camry with its stylish looks that'll make an impression wherever you go. See your Toyota dealer today and discover what makes Camry legendary. There's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. Get your local Toyota dealer today or Toyota.com. That's Toyota.com, your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We have Thursday Night Football coming up in about 25 or 30 minutes right here on 760. We've been talking about the Padres today, some minor moves. We've spent more time talking about the relief pitcher's last name than anything else. In addition tonight,
the last name is more intriguing than the actual pitcher itself.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot to be said about adding a guy that made 3 appearances in the major leagues last year and threw 3 innings. How could you possibly, to your point, I saw on social media, people are like, oh, his stuff, man, his stuff plays. I'm like,
stop.
You can't do that. His stuff plays. Where did it play? It played in Double-A.
You have no idea.
Yeah. But Ruben Niebla, but you can't do that with all pitchers all the time.
No, you can't use Ruben Niebla as this magic elixir that's going to just turn any pitcher the Padres sign into Cy Young.
Exactly.
You can't do that. At some point, you have to go out and sign real talent. Now, if this guy does turn into a valuable piece this upcoming season, and Randy Vasquez continues to grow and get better, and you have Johnny Brito be a big part of this rotation, then yeah, maybe I'll say, you know what, Ruben Niebla is working his magic with these pitchers. But at the same time, I just, that's too much to put on Ruben's shoulders. He is a great pitching coach. He is not going to make every single pitcher that comes to the Padres organization the next coming of Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, and how much can you squeeze out of a staff? How much can you squeeze out of a lemon? You don't have unlimited lemonade. You can't ask Ruben Niebla, they'll fix him. You can't do that with all players. And to your point, it's not reasonable. You can't expect fringe signings to impact the team impact players like Mason Miller or Robert Suarez, or in a rotation even a Dylan Cease or a Michael King. So again, You always are looking for diamonds in the rough. It's important, specifically for the Padres, and they've been good at it by and large, whether it's position player, reliever, starting pitcher, going back to the Seth Lugos of the world. They've had success, but you're playing with fire when you do this, right? When every offseason is under the radar this and fringe that, and trust me, believe me, you're capping your ceiling. I'm telling you, you're capping your ceiling if that's going to be the entire offseason.
And exactly, 100% right. And the thing with Ruben Niebla, back to that, what I like about Ruben the most is he takes good pitchers and he makes them better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like he made Mason Miller, or at least he helped Mason Miller be a better version of himself. He helped Michael King be a better version of himself. Nick Pivetta, Dylan Cease to an extent, but Dylan Cease is just whatever. But you get my point. Like, he takes these good pitchers and he helps them become better. Not to say that he can't take a lower level pitcher and help him improve, because he absolutely can. But you're asking for a lot if you're asking him to go out and take the scraps from the bottom of the barrel and turn those guys into, like, every fifth day starters or competent late inning relievers to be relied on. Like, it's tough to always ask him to do that. Not to say that he hasn't done it, because he has done it. Jeremiah Estrada, Nick Martinez when he was here, right? He's done that. He's helped Adrian Morejon and turn into one of the best relievers in baseball. But like you said, John, at some point, it's not always going to work. And to have Ruben Niebla be like, hey, Ruben, you can fix him, right? Cool. We're going to sign this rando for nothing because we don't have any money, because our owner's trying to sell the team and he's broke and he doesn't want to spend any money and he doesn't care. And they won't give me a contract. But hey, Ruben, here's some random guy off the street from the Dominican. Go turn him into an all-star.
And then also the idea, well, Craig Stammen knows how to use a bullpen. Okay, that only goes so far. You still have to give him effective arms. And again, I think most people believe maybe the strength of the Padres is their bullpen. Certainly one of their strengths. You could certainly argue it's better than their offensive core, that their bullpen is more impactful, or was, than their offensive core. But, that bullpen needs arms like Adrian Morejon and Mason Miller and Jeremiah Estrada. And when you start taking some of those pieces out in an effort to fill your other needs, then you're impacting your bullpen as well. So I'm going to be fascinated by Craig Stammen as a manager. Obviously, I think all Padres fans will be. And I'm not going to put it on Craig Stammen again if you're trying to piecemeal something together. Like, you have to have effective arms in your pen. And I think they will. I mean, this Ty Adcock thing, we should literally spend 0 seconds on it. We've spent 3 hours on it. This isn't making or breaking their season. In all likelihood, if he's not good, Jim, he'll be in the minor leagues. If he is good, there'll be a role for him in their bullpen. But how impactful is it signing like this? It's not overly impactful. I still believe their bullpen is probably a strength overall.
Like go out and sign. Let's see here. I'm looking at the free agents on the market right now. To pull this up. So I'm looking at pitchers. Scroll down. Go out and re-sign Michael King. Go, sign Zach Littell. Go sign Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen. Like, go get some guys that can give you innings and that are proven starters, and then have those guys work with Ruben Niebla to get better. Like, hey, Zach Gallen, at one point, dude was like, what, in the running for a Cy Young? He was one of the better pitchers in baseball. He had a really bad season last year. Go put him with Ruben Niebla. Get him back to what he used to be, right? Not like, hey, we're getting Ty Adcock and you got whoever else from who knows where, and Ruben Niebla has to turn him into an all-star pitcher.
It's just one random signing.
I know.
So everything should be fine. This is not the sky is falling moment. I do think it follows a series of very cautious moves. That's why we're in this mood. Like when it's Campy for a year and Kyle Hart for a year and Ty Adcock for a year, when it's minimum, you're just seeing this trend play out, which is like, is this what they're going to do all offseason? Maybe not. Maybe they'll surprise. I'm just not holding my breath that they're going to surprise Padres fans. And come next week in Orlando, they just pounce and they spend and they're aggressive. Now they could make a trade. I would not be surprised if they made a significant trade. That would not shock me. What would shock me is if they made a significant spend, like if they allocated significant dollars.
Yeah, the trade stuff I could see happening. The spend stuff, I don't. I don't. I am curious to see, like, if they do make Jake Cronenworth available, and if they do try to trade him to get a starter back, right? Like that to me intrigues me, because it seems like they need to move money once again, and to move money, Jake's the only possible player on this team that they could move, that you could replace, that's easily replaceable. Maybe not easily replaceable, but you get my point. He's replaceable. And if that would help you get a starter in your rotation, I'm all for that.
Yeah, and I think that's something they should seriously consider, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are considering, truthfully, beginning next week in Orlando, Florida. All right, we're going to get you ready for Thursday Night Football on the other side. You're going to hear it tonight on San Diego Sports 760, and it's a very good game with playoff implications. It's Detroit hosting Dallas. Cowboys and Lions coming up Thursday Night Football, 5:15 right here on San Diego Sports 760. So we'll get you ready for that. On the other side, we're here until 5:15. Final hour, in fact, final 15 minutes or so of John and Jim on the other side. San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Taco Bell. We'll start with the Aztecs. They're back in the win column as they beat Utah Valley last night, 77-66. BJ Davis led the way off the bench with 18 points in the win. Padres made a big signing today as they signed right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock to the Major League roster. And we have Thursday Night Football on the station coming up momentarily as the Lions host the Dallas Cowboys. Taco Bell's Lux Craving Box gives you decadent options. $5 gets you fan favorites, $7 gets you the fancy stuff, and $9 sends you on a journey of flavor exploration. Get yours at participating stores for limited time. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks exclude freezes, taxes extra.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final 15 minutes of John and Jim. We have Thursday Night Football coming up on the station. Detroit and Dallas. Good one in the NFC coming up at 5:15. You can hear it right here on 760. So we've mentioned, Jim, that you're out east visiting family in Philadelphia, where tonight your Warriors just so happen to be. Because in the NBA, that's how it works. The teams play the other teams.
Right.
So the Warriors are in Philadelphia. And they are getting slaughtered tonight.
It's not going well.
It's 56-34. We happen to have it on in the studio for whatever reason.
It's on NBA TV.
And it's 56-34 Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Steph Curry once again is scoreless.
Because he's not playing, you idiot.
Correct. It sounds better when I say it my way. Draymond Green has left the game due to like a foot injury or something.
Great.
And who else is out?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Jimmy, they're fine. But can they overcome not having Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green for the rest of the year?
Let me answer that question for you. No, they're one of the worst basketball teams in the entire league without those three players.
So I have a serious question. When the Warriors get healthy, and they inevitably will, and they position themselves for the spring and the postseason, what ceiling exists if they are healthy, but they're not seeded well? You know, they're like a 6, 7, 8. And they've got Steph and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green healthy.
The ceiling?
Yeah, I think can they win around if they're a 6, 7, or 8 seed?
Only if they're healthy.
But if they're healthy, can they beat Oklahoma City?
No one can beat Oklahoma City.
Who's the second best team in the West right now?
Right now it's the Lakers.
Could they beat the Lakers if they were healthy?
No.
Okay, so basically, are you telling me season over?
Yeah, this one's over.
Come on.
No, it's over. Their top three players are good enough, but their role players are all horrifically bad. And they're not going to go anywhere because they drafted very, very poorly. Jonathan Kuminga needs to be traded ASAP. Once January 15th comes, get his ass out of town. Brandon Podjemski, he sucks. He's awful.
What about Pat?
Dude, that's the thing. If they played Pat Spencer more, this team might have a chance.
We joked about him the other
He only
night.
played 9 minutes in the first half against Philly. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
What does he have? 23 points?
No, but still, it's
So you're not optimistic that this is the year the title's going back to the Bay Area?
No, I'm not optimistic at all.
All right. NFC tonight, Thursday Night Football. The surging Cowboys, who traded Micah Parsons prior to the season, now find themselves 6-5-1, coming off that Thanksgiving win over the Chiefs in front of 57 million viewers. Okay? 57 million, which was
wild.
Which would have been the most viewed like AFC title game ever. Something ridiculous. I mean, that's how many people viewed it. 57 million. So you got a Cowboys team that is surging with a really good offense. And then you've got a Lions team that's at home and trying to kind of hold on. 7-5. There were so many expectations for the Lions heading into this year. This is a big game, Jim, coming up in 10 minutes in the NFC right here on 760.
Yeah, it's a big game. You argued it's bigger for the Lions, right?
No, I don't know. I argue the loser's out.
I could see that.
Not officially, but I just don't think they'll make it, I guess is my point.
I think that tie could help the Cowboys.
Could help the Cowboys, you're right.
You know, because that tie has helped the Packers so far, right?
Good.
I mean, if you add that tie as a loss, then they're the 7 seed, and they're only a game up on Detroit. Niners are the 6 seed. Man, that NFC South, Tampa Bay, Carolina. Ugh.
Yep.
That's gross because they're going to host a playoff game and host the 5 seed, and the 5 seed is going to blow them out. Yeah, it's so you look at here. I mean, there's 9 good teams in the NFC, and only 7 will make the postseason.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, this is a big game for both teams. Loser, not officially out, but it will be difficult. Even, I mean, if the Cowboys win, they're 7-5-1. Niners are 9-4. I don't know what percentage that is or winning percentage because the Niners have a bye week this week. And if the Cowboys run the table here, yeah, they could. I mean, look, Detroit, they got to win at home tonight. You can't lose at home, right? I mean, when you're in this situation, kind of like fighting for your life now down the stretch here, and you're looking at the standings, and you got the Bears in first in the NFC, which is crazy to think about, and then you got Green Bay there at 8-3-1. That tie is going to, help Green Bay probably make the postseason. I think this is a bigger game tonight for the Lions.
I agree with them at home. I'm with you. I mean, the Lions are in third place in their division. It doesn't feel like a game at home you'd feel good about if you lost. I mean, shoot, to your point on the Cowboys, though, it's like with the Cowboys schedule, if they do win tonight, are they going to win the NFC East? Philadelphia does not look like Philadelphia.
Oh, trust me. People in Philadelphia are not happy with the Eagles.
Yeah, so it's like you're 6-5-1, but if you get to 7-5-1, and then you mentioned the schedule with like the Vikings and the Commanders and the Giants, like I don't know if they're going to get there or not. But in this world where they're 11-5-1, they're going to surpass Philadelphia. That would be my guess.
Here's what the Eagles end their season with. All right, so they play the Chargers on Monday night this week. Well, actually, next Monday, right?
Okay.
Are we carrying that game?
Is that on Monday?
That's on Monday. Are we carrying that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Please, someone say yes.
Wait, which game is on Monday?
Eagles Chargers is on the 8th.
Okay, I was looking at Cowboys Chargers. I'm sure we are.
And then Eagles, they play the Raiders, the Commanders, the Bills, and they finish up the year against the Commanders at home.
Right.
So, like, if the Eagles don't get their act together here, I mean, they have a pretty favorable schedule down the stretch other than that Bills game and that Chargers game on the road, but the whole place is going to be Eagles fans anyway. Yep. And the Chargers offensive line is very sus, and Justin Herbert has a broken left hand. So, like, Eagles have a favorable schedule other than that Bills game on the road. Cowboys have a very favorable schedule. I mean, this thing could go down to the wire if the Cowboys win tonight.
I mean, I'm going to say this right now. Tell me if you agree with this. I can say it definitively. The Eagles are not going to the Super Bowl. Sorry, they're not. They are not the same team that they were a year ago. To me, it would be very surprising. A, not as the one. B, having to go on the road at some point. Well, arguably even winning their division based on what we're talking about. I'd be very surprised if Philadelphia made it to the Super Bowl. Agree or disagree?
I would agree, and I think most Philadelphia fans would agree too. It's hilarious that they won the Super Bowl like this past year, and all Eagle fans are saying right now is this team sucks. Fire everybody. They are so mad, and the Super Bowl last year doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. And
right.
And what Aaron told me the other day, she's like, "This is what the Eagles do every year." I'm like, "You just won a Super Bowl."
Yeah, they don't collapse every year. They've had a recent year before last year.
Right. They went 10-1. They went 10-1, and they collapsed on the stretch and lost in the wild card round to the Bucks.
Yep.
But apparently they do this every year, John.
but they've won 2 of the last 8 Super Bowls.
Right. They've won 2 Super Bowls, and they do this every year. They suck.
Yeah, it's intriguing, I guess, is the point. I mean, even the AFC, I mean, you might be looking at the Chiefs not even in it. The NFC, where Philadelphia isn't as formidable as they were even a year ago. Now you get the new blood. I mean, I don't know what to expect in the postseason. I don't know what to expect in the AFC with like a New England with 11 wins, or the NFC if there's some fresh blood in there. I kind of like it because we've seen so much of the Chiefs. We've seen a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles in recent history. Maybe somebody else is going to get there. Maybe it's the Buffaloes. Maybe it's the Detroits. Maybe it's the Bears.
Hey, Buffalo's got problems too, man.
They do. Buffalo
they're 8-4.
Yep.
They're fighting for their postseason lives as well. I mean, it's just a cakewalk for them down the stretch, and they can't stop anybody on the run. So they can't stop the run at all. And basically what they're doing is saying, "Hey, Josh Allen, save us."
Right.
Like, that's not a good recipe.
No, not to get to a Super Bowl.
No.
And it feels like that when the door is open, Kansas City might not be in the postseason, and you're not even in position to potentially be that team to break through. So I just think it's wide open. Is my point both ways. Like NFC, AFC, completely wide open. Who the hell knows who's going to end up in the Super Bowl this year?
I think right now, if you told me, like, all right, you have to pick who could win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 teams.
Okay. Let me hear them.
I got 1 in the AFC and I got 2 in the NFC.
You're going to say Denver.
Okay.
And you're going to say, you're going to say the Rams.
Okay.
Rams, Broncos. You're not going to say Bears, are you? You're going to say Packers?
No.
Are you going to say Seahawks? Niners?
I am. No, I'm going to say my order goes Rams 1, Denver 2, Seattle 3.
Okay. Denver. Bo
Now,
Nix.
Seattle kind of scares me a little bit because Sam Darnold, but I think their defense and they have a number 1 wide receiver. Sam Darnold, if he cuts down mistakes, he's shown like he can play well. But I do think the Super Bowl could be Rams and Broncos.
Interesting, right? I mean, I don't know, dude. I have no idea. I mean, you trust the Broncos with Bo Nix more than New England with their soft schedule at 11-2?
As Will Brinson told us on Monday, I trust the Broncos defense. I trust Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Bo Nix, but I trust Sean Payton and that defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust Payton, that defense, and then with the Rams, I mean, McVay and Stafford have already proven it, right? So how could you doubt them? I think if you're telling me right now, gun to my head, you got to pick a team out of the AFC and the NFC, I'd pick the Broncos and I'd pick the Rams.
What if there wasn't a gun to your head?
Then that'd be awesome.
Then you'd still pick the same 2 teams, right?
I would still pick the same 2 teams, yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. Don't you? I mean, even like seriously, from your perspective as a Niners fan, doesn't it seriously feel like open? Like there's no like dominant players. Like, oh man, we got to play the Chicago Bears. There's no path. Right? Or you got to play the Green Bay Packers. There's no path. That to me doesn't scream like invincibility playing those teams.
No, there's not. And I think if the Niners had a healthy Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, they would be much more scary.
Mm-hmm.
But 9-4, that's a very good record.
Yeah.
Their offense is healthy, right? Chris McCaffrey's having an all-pro year. Brock Purdy, but the loss of Fred Warner and Nick Bosa kind of just eliminates, for me, the 49ers in the conversation.
Maybe. It certainly takes away their margin.
Those 2 players are so important to their defense. They're getting away with it with smoke and mirrors somehow because Robert Saleh is an amazing defensive coordinator. But like, if you added those 2 guys to the mix for the Niners defense, my answer probably would be different. Even though I'm a Niners fan.
Yep.
But still, if I'm doing this objectively, those 2 players, I think, are the difference between the Niners making a legit Super Bowl run and not.
And also, could they somehow, again, the division winners are so important. And when you don't win that division and you're a 5 or a 6 or a 7, it's different than getting that home game to start.
The Niners do have a chance this weekend, if everything falls their way,
to be in first?
To move up to the number 1 seed, by the way.
Number 1 seed. Oh, yeah, because that makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
Everything has to happen for them this weekend.
We're back tomorrow, too. We've got Thursday Night Football on the other side. Again, a huge game coming up tonight between Detroit and Dallas. Lions and Cowboys on the other side. If you missed anything today, go to sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app or iTunes or Spotify. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Back tomorrow, too. Keep it here. Cowboys and Lions coming up next on San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.